こいつは楽しめそうだ。
Fighters ready. Engage.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hoopy 186 back again with another live stream. This is the Overrated Podcast, episode 20. This is Hoopy 186, and here is my partner in crime, the Traditionalist 101. Introduce yourself.
Well, you pretty much did it for me. So yeah, yeah. This is the Traditionalist 101. You know how it is. We gotta hold on to we gotta hold on to tradition, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's been a very interesting week, a very interesting weekend. You know, I would just want to say everybody, you know, happy New Year's to all of you. I really hope that this year is a lot better than what we had last year. And how was your New Year's? What did you do?
Work. I went to work.
You went to work on New Year's?
Yeah.
I could have sworn you said New Year's was one of your holidays.
Uh, I mean, New Year's Eve is, but normally I'm stuck at work when I'm doing that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I had a good time. You know, was invited to a party. You know, had a lot of food. Um, and we definitely shot a lot of fireworks. I do have a couple more, left in the car, so I'm gonna blow those suckers up later on this week. But yeah, my New Year's was good. So far this year has been fine, but but I'm not holding my breath. I'm something. I just have a weird feeling that something crazy is going to go on this year. I just don't know yet. But I just have a gut feeling that it's not going to be good. Hopefully, I'm wrong about that.
Well, I mean, do you think that that's what life is? Bad things happen all the time.
Well, yeah,
So,
sure.
like,
Yeah, sure. But I think everyone is pretty much fed up with this whole pandemic crap, and I believe it's gone to the point where now everybody is just ignoring. Not everybody, but most people are ignoring it. Like they're just living their regular lives. Like for example, like my side hustle, they say they're not closing at all. They're not going to close. And from what I found out, you know, um, the Santos, not the Santos, whatever his name is, whatever his name is, our governor.
DeSantis.
I keep saying the Santos, but yeah, but yeah, he made it clear that he's not going to be shutting the state down, and the county's not going to do anything. So we're just going to live normal lives as usual, which I'm actually happy about because at this point we have to try to learn to just try to live with this virus. I know some people feel like we should at least close for at least a couple of weeks.
Well, I mean, there's no way. What is there to close? Like honestly, like everything's open now. So like going backwards ain't gonna mean anything.
I agree. I
So
agree.
it's like
So
you might
people,
you might as well just list I mean, if just keep the protocols if there's an issue. Obviously, there's been a huge spike in COVID cases. Just keep the protocols as they are, and hopefully we can get out of this.
yeah, I agree. Like I think at this everything should just run normal business hours. Now, if you want to close a little early, I mean, fine, you could do that, but I don't think just closing everything down all over again is just not beneficial, um, for the economy. You know what I'm saying? Like we already had a huge sample size that it doesn't get us anywhere. So either we close or not. I mean, the virus is going to stick. It's going to stay. It's here to stay. So whether you close, whether you decide not to close, the virus is still here. Now, what I do now, here's what I understand. I understand they say that when the sun is out, you know, it basically compresses the virus to some degree because I guess it can't take that much heat. So I don't know how accurate that is, but they say it's during when the sun sets. I guess the virus could be more active. I don't know how truthful that is, and if companies want to close early because of that, I mean, yeah, do whatever you want to do, but I think you'd just be better off, doing it just no more hours. If you want to close a couple hours early, that's fine. But just to shut everything down, no, I'm not for that, and I'm actually surprised that you're not for that either.
No, there's no. What's the point of shutting down? Everyone else is not shutting. Well, I can't speak for. I know Canada's dealing with an issue that they're dealing with. Like I said, if you're going to keep everything open throughout all of this, then what's the point of closing right now? What's the point? Like, I don't know if I don't think hospitals are. I think the problem with hospitals, and I know you mentioned this, is being understaffed.
Yeah,
That's the problem. It's not that there's more and more people going to the hospital. It's just more and more people. The problem is that the hospitals currently are understaffed. And lots of places are understaffed. My job is understaffed. Your job is understaffed. Like, everyone's dealing with this. Everyone's dealing with the same thing. Like, and closing again is just not. It's not gonna help, because I don't think. I mean, like, what's like at the end of the day, what's the point? Like, what does it matter?
right.
If there's other organizations out there who are not closing, even though they have a clear COVID issue, like the NBA, right? Then what's the point? Like, then you're just, at the end of the day, like, mandate, no mandate, regardless. At the end of the day, like, we're gonna have to eventually, um like you said, live through this. We have to live with it. We have to live through this.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, like, it might as well just do what we can, protect ourselves, and hopefully everyone's okay.
Yeah. Like I agree with that 100%. Like just just do your original routine, but just do it more regularly. Just wash your hands. Bring sand sanitizers with you. Like just a little bottle that you could just buy at Walgreens. Buy one, buy a couple, put one in your car, put one in your pocket, and you should be fine. Now I don't know if you have one, but
No,
I have
no, I mean, I'm living my life the way that I hear an echo. Hold on.
on your end.
Hello? Yeah, mine. I hear echo. I don't know if it's on my end, or is it coming from your. Hello? No,
I can
okay.
hear
Yeah, I still hear the echo. I don't know if it's from me or not.
you.
Can you hear the echo?
No.
Shit, I can definitely hear it on my end. I don't know.
Uh,
Hopefully, but
is it?
you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you perfect.
And well, first off, Malta said, "What's up? How you doing, Malta?" And he said he doesn't hear an echo. So okay, so it's probably just on my end. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. Malta, FYI, we are doing a controller tier list on Thursday. So if you actually want to actually join the conversation, let me know and we can set it up. But Thursday is our controller tier podcast. Now, I have a controller tier video I made a couple years ago, and I haven't stopped hearing about it since,
Of course
from
not.
this guy and other people. And what time? Well, I mean, I'm off Thursday, so I know you're off Thursday night. You said.
Yeah, I'm off Thursday night.
So, like, what time? What's the best time for you?
We could start whatever because I'm off that night. So because I get off work at 4,
Hmm.
so after 5 o'clock, I'm good.
But we do need a concrete time. So, hopefully nothing comes up on my end. Um, yeah, is 7 o'clock good for you?
Yeah, it's fine for me.
All
Well,
right.
ask Malta also.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, 7 o'clock. We're gonna do it. So,
Is it didn't Nintendo Gamer also wanted to join the
yeah,
next?
I sent him an Instagram post earlier today.
Okay,
He,
okay.
he said maybe he can make it. So hopefully that maybe becomes a yes. But yeah. So I mean, without further ado, we might as well get started with the podcast. Let me open up the first Let me open up the first video. I mean, first subject. Let's go to tab. Yeah. All right. That's fine. That's cool. All right. First subject
Oh,
is
somebody else is here. Who is this?
it's a bot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
As long as the views count. That's all that matters. All right. So okay.
All right.
So
Well, anyway, that's fine. We have Malta here, so Malta, once again, appreciate you having you here, bro. Go
okay.
ahead.
All right. So this is the first topic that we're going to be talking about. I'm at eventhubs.com, and obviously one of my favorite fighting games of all time is Virtua Fighter. They pretty much re-released Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Um, they released it a couple months ago. I got it for free because I'm a PlayStation Plus member, and honestly, like it's a great it's the same game as 5. I know they did some balancing issue some tweak when it comes to the balancing. I think they did that. The game has always been very balanced. But they also, they upped the graphics to they beefed up the graphics, and obviously it's a very good fighting game. It's one of my favorite fighting games this generation, and because of the success of Ultimate Showdown, Sega is now teasing that we could very well get a new entry into the series. Now it could be Virtua Fighter 6. It wouldn't even surprise me if it was a reboot, an actual Virtua Fighter reboot. Let me read. Let me read.
I don't think having a reboot for a fighting game is necessarily a good idea. Like if it was a story based game, an adventure game, an RPG, but to have a complete new reboot on a fighting game, I don't think that's such a
I
good idea
mean,
to me.
honestly, it worked for Mortal Kombat 9. Because that game,
I wouldn't call that a reboot though.
it's 100% a reboot.
Mm,
It's 1,000% a reboot. Like the storyline is essentially a reboot.
yeah, well, yeah, the storyline, yeah, is a reboot. Yeah, the story, but
Yeah,
as far
they
as
re. Yeah,
as
go
far as
ahead.
the gameplay is concerned or anything, everything else is pretty much the same except for the
No,
story.
no, no, no. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna revert back. They're not gonna go backward when it comes to gameplay. Like they can easily do a reboot. Because remember, the one thing about Virtua Fighter that is clear, that the game, when it comes to it, has no story. It has lore behind it, but the story don't mean anything in that game. If they can we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Let me read this
But
article.
before you read it, but doesn't each character have their own original story like every other traditional
Yeah, but
fighting game has?
that's not highlighted anywhere in the game.
Oh,
Like
okay.
there's no endings. There's none of that. You just play. You do arcade. You fight. Eight people. You fight the boss, Darrell, and then that's it. There's no story to it.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
the,
that's the
the
problem
characters
for
have
me.
the characters have lore to them. Like there definitely is a story behind it, but there's not showcased in the game in any way, shape, or form.
That's a problem for me. That's a problem for me because it's I think it's more difficult for you to be more invested in the character and which even if you have a favorite character, like I think it would be more difficult to be emotionally connect with the character if there's no story. If there's no story, which means there's no type of emotion that you get from the character. You don't get any sense of background, like it just like it doesn't mean anything. I think story in any game, especially fighting games, is important, and Sega should have known better. It should have known better. But go ahead.
Okay, let me read the article. All right, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but let me just read some of it. All right. So the Virtua Fighter franchise spent years in a state of feeling all but forgotten by Sega, but they finally changed this year with the release of Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Japanese publication Dengeki Online recently interviewed Ultimate Showdown producer Shinji Aoki, okay, to discuss the prospect of creating a brand new Virtua Fighter entry, what it would take to make it a true successor, and Sega's approach to handling the current title. The most important part of the interview for VF fans is what the producer had to say about a potential future sequel after playing the same version of Virtua Fighter 5 for 15 years at this point, which is true. The first Virtua Fighter 5 first came out on the PS3.
Virtua Fighter 5, correct? Yes.
That was two PlayStations ago. And then they came out with Xbox 360 version, which had online, which the PS3 version didn't have. And then like after like what 5 6 years, they made what was it called? It was Final Showdown, and then this one is Ultimate Showdown. So we've been playing Virtua Fighter 5 for 15 years. So he's right about that.
Yeah, that was the whole issue that I found out that people had, with the PlayStation version that it didn't have online,
Yeah.
and that was the other criticism, because even though that it was free at the beginning of that cycle and that generation, there weren't that many games that you were able to play online, unlike the Xbox.
The, Ja- the Japanese didn't embrace online gaming at first.
You
They
think
did.
that's what it was?
That's exactly what it was. They didn't.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's a long time, but it is what it is. So,
Yeah. So
but
pretty much.
thankfully, Final Showdown did have it. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot, when did that one come out again? Do you remember?
um, damn, when did it come out? Like, I know it came out within the first year of the PlayStation 3. So, it probably came out 07.
Oh man, golly, that's a long time. All right.
But I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, let me continue on. Since we released, this is Aoki talking. Since we released Ultimate Showdown, it showed us that the potential for a future title is definitely there. And the reason why he feels that way is because the game did better than expected. So that's why there's talk about a new Virtua Fighter game. Well, let me continue. Um, where was I? Okay, translated by our own Nicholas Taylor. On top of that, we will we do it, and if we do it, what kind of game will it end up being? Is both important things to consider. Let me scroll down. He goes on to state that if that they want to give it their all, if they do move forward with a new project, it'll take them a few years to research and catch up to what it takes to create a fighting game in the modern landscape successfully. Now, that's important. That's important to note. That is because like you said, when you look at the fighting game, it's contemporaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the first one. I mean, obviously most people will say obviously Dead or Alive plays is pretty much a lower tier version of Virtua Fighter, but we all know the top 3D fighting game out there is Tekken, right? And you look at what Tekken's done with the franchise over the years. You can look at a game like Soul Calibur and the stuff that they've added over the years. To me, I like Virtua Fighter for what it offers. It offers something completely different than Tekken. And it is someone who actually prefers Tekken gameplay wise over Virtua Fighter. But I appreciate the fact that both games are vastly different, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. It is vastly different, but I still think that I think they added, too much realism into the game to where it just takes the fun out of it, in my opinion. In my
I
opinion, that because I don't can you because think about it. What other game can you name that you could say this reminds me of Virtua Fighter? I don't think there is any.
I mean but even Dead or Alive is a very
But I would put Dead or Alive and Tekken in that category to me.
no no the Virtua Fighter and they have the same button scheme. The only
No,
difference
well,
is
yeah, yeah, but I'm talking about just as far as the gameplay wise, how it's fast paced.
no,
It,
I
it
mean
is
Dead or Alive is
more.
just a faster paced Virtua Fighter. That's all it is.
Mm,
It's faster play, faster pace. Like Tekken plays differently than both those games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that when you look at it from just gameplay wise, you can argue that Virtua Fighter, I mean that Tekken plays a lot more like like what plays a lot more like Dead or Alive, but the button schemes is completely different.
Yeah.
Is completely different. So all right, so let me continue reading
So
here.
so would you prefer? So you would prefer Virtual Fighter over Dead or Alive, or vice, or the other
A
way
thousand
around?
percent, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 1,000%. And I don't hate Dead or Alive, but Dead or Alive is not on the same level as Virtua Fighter or Tekken for that matter.
Yeah. Okay.
So hold on a second. You see. Hold on. Let me try to say something.
Who, me? Yeah.
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 Okay. Okay. All right. You're good.
What
You're
do you
good.
want me to say?
I can. No. No. Nothing. No. I can hear you. I can hear you. Cause
Oh, you
yeah, go
you
ahead.
still hear an echo?
No. 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 I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. All right. Let me continue. Let me continue reading here. Where was I at? All right. It is also directly noted that a brand new Virtua Fighter would need to focus on a worldwide community beyond only Japan. That's
Right.
important too. That's important too
Oh
because
yeah.
if you're going to concentrate on worldwide appeal, then there's certain things that may need to change with the franchise, and that's something that I'm worried about as well.
Certain things that they have to sacrifice is what you're basically saying.
That
Essentially
they might
saying.
have to add into the game that I don't want them to add into the game. You
Okay.
know,
I think I think I know. I know. Yeah. I think I know what you're
so
talking about. But yeah.
we'll discuss that. Let me read some more.
Hmm.
This is hopefully a good sign that a future title would come packing rollback netcode, at least, which is something Sega was aware of for Ultimate Showdown, but chose to stick with their old style. Um, yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do rollback netcode, but honestly, like playing online in the game, I've had pretty much smooth, I've had pretty smooth, online gameplay with Virtua Fighter with Ultimate Showdown. So I can't, I don't really complain. I don't have really much to complain about.
Okay. So there was no lagging issues, frame rate
Um,
issues. Like it was a smooth sailing gameplay throughout the whole time you were playing.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
there's some hips and dips from there, but you'll get that in most games I play, but overall, like this, the experience has been smooth, so I'm happy there.
Okay.
It's definitely a stormy path no matter what we do," said Aoki via Dengeki. Even so, we've been investigating and analyzing the circumstances for making a new game in earnest, and there's a vision of if we're going to make it, this is how we want it to be. A big worry, of course, is that modernized take on Virtua Fighter may change things up too much to the point where it no longer appeals to longtime players who've stuck it out for years, although the producer tries to alleviate those concerns a bit. The very core of this lies at making sure that the people who have enjoyed and supported Virtua Fighter for so long will also enjoy this potential new title, said Aoki. If the players aren't there, the planning is all for naught. So we would like for them to keep enjoying the series, and if we're making a new one, it has to be a game that lives up to their expectations and hopes. Now, this isn't direct confirmation that a new Virtua Fighter is in development, but it is encouraging to see Sega considers Ultimate Showdown enough of a success to openly discuss the fact that they're actively looking into what to do with the story franchise next. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh, no,
Oh,
there is more, but we're good. We're good. We're good.
yo, you good?
Yeah, we're good. No, no, no. Because everything else is just about the. It's pretty much about fives. And let me read some of these. Let me read some of these things from Walter before we continue. Did y'all grow up together? Yes, we did. Pretty much. I think we first met each other in third grade. Yeah, we first met each other in third grade. So I don't know if you remember Steve, but that's the first time I met you.
I think you're getting it mixed up with fourth or fifth, because that's what I'm trying to remember because I was still in Orlando at the time. I'm pretty sure. So I
Okay,
think
so yeah, it might have been fourth. It might be, but we definitely met we definitely met in elementary. We definitely did that.
yeah, and yeah, and Yeah, we pretty much stay close the whole entire time, and man, there are just so many stories that we have to share, like maybe like later on,
Hmm.
but like I remember the time where it was raining outside. I don't know if you remember this, but it was like pouring raining outside, and your mom drove past you, and I remember you running after the car. That was
That probably did happen. That probably did happen one time. Yeah, definitely probably
oh
did.
my god,
Yeah, but
like the memories.
yeah, we've known each other since elementary. So what game? And he also asked what game did y'all play together? Pretty much fighting games for the most part. Yeah, pretty much fighting games. That was the one that we Yeah, that's pretty much what we played together. I mean, we played a whole bunch of other stuff, but the main thing that we played was fighting games. At
Yeah,
least
there were a couple of times we played Madden. Unfortunately, he beat me every single time. Um, there was one time I was really really close to winning, but he came back and won, which I still remember that time. I was the Green Bay Packers, and I think you were the Dolphins. I'm not 100%. I can't remember, but I never forgotten that beat that come behind victory, because I really tried my best to win that game, but yeah, that was pretty much it. And there were other times that we would just try out games, like even
yeah,
single player.
yeah. We like that's been one of our things that we've had in common, gaming forever. So yeah, so I mean, hopefully some point with your channel, with your all of a sudden dead channel, that you would actually put some gameplay footage or something.
No, 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 no. I now that I'm getting some couple of days off, I'm gonna be working on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Virtua Fighter 6 is in the works. I mean, well, might be in the works. Me personally, I'm happy about this, but I don't want them to change. I don't like. Okay, let me put it out there. I don't want them adding supers into the game. I don't want super specials. I don't want what Tekken added. I don't want what Soul Calibur added. I don't want what Dead or Alive added. Dead or Alive even has a super. Like I don't want that. I want. I just want the way that the gameplay is for Virtua Fighter. Could it flashy it enough? Yeah, sure. If they can add more nuance to the 'cause, I know we had this argument in the chat about the ring out system, and that you're not a fan of it.
No,
You're not a fan of
and
it.
the reason I'm not a fan of ring outs is because it's because you could automatically win by default, regardless of how much damage you did to your opponent. And all he has to do is just get one lucky shot, and then you automatically lose the game. I'm not with that. And frankly, the professional virtual fighter players, they're not happy with that either. They're not happy with it. And you said that it's strategy, but to me, I just think it cheapens the
Wait,
game.
what you watch Virtua Fighter tournaments?
No, no, no. I'm just saying a lot of the professionals, they just don't like it. They're just not a fan of it.
Who's the I mean, again, who's the professionals?
The people who go to tournaments,
I mean,
I would
like,
say, in my opinion, a professional fighting game player are people who actually go to partake in tournaments
yeah,
and
yeah,
win.
yeah, yeah. But like, Virtua Fighter, its scene is not. I mean, it's probably a lot bigger in Japan than it is here. But there's a decent Virtua Fighter scene. I don't think I've heard anyone say that they had a problem with the ring out system.
I just like again, I just think ring outs just cheapens the game.
I mean,
Like here, all you got to do is just kick the person out and you win. Like that's cheap to me. That's too cheap.
well, I mean, to me, as good one, you have certain fighting disciplines that do have out of bound, like they have inbounds and out of bounds and stuff like that. They do have some. I think sumo is one. Karate, traditional karate is another. Like they have out of bounds. They have some fighting disciplines and fighting tournaments and stuff like that where they have you have to stay within the boundaries of the fight. If you go out of bounds, if you go out of bounds, then you either lose a point or you lose the match.
Well, like see the what having out of bounds. The only one positive thing I will say about it is that you have to, it kind of forces you to stay aggressive and you stay engaged into the fight, because you can't just constantly run everywhere, otherwise you just get You get
Yeah,
knocked off.
and plus Virtua Fighter, like even though obviously Virtua Fighter was, I believe, the first fighting game to include ring outs. It's not. They also have stages where it's enclosed as well.
Mm-hmm.
They have walled stages. To me, I think if they're going to modernize the game, I think they have to be smart about it. If you want to make because the thing is that the scenery and the stages look nice, but at the end of the day, you're just at the end of the day, for the most part, you're just in a ring. That's what you're just in a ring.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can make the stages more interactive, kind of like how Dead or Alive is, because that's the main difference between Dead or Alive and Virtua Fighter, is that instead of fighting in a ring, they fight in environments. You know what I'm saying? And they have breakable environments and stuff like that. You get all that, right? Like if you can fight in an environment and still keep the same Virtua Fighter gameplay, I think that would be. I actually wouldn't mind that. I don't know. I don't know if the Virtua Fighter purists will be okay with that, but I don't mind. I don't mind.
Yeah, like to me, I think they should just get rid of ring outs altogether, in my opinion.
I mean that what you would essentially do if you put the game in environments instead of just putting them in the rings. Because like I said, the environments do look good, but at the end of the day, they are still fighting in the ring for the most part. Whether it's caged or uncaged, they're still fighting in the ring. They're not fighting in, like, for example, like in Tekken 7, right? They have stages where they have infinite stages, obviously, but they also have stages where they're fighting in something. Either they're fighting in a temple or they're fighting in the jungle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Dead or Alive also, they're either fighting in a palace or a castle or on a boat or something like that. And Virtua Fighter, at the end of the day, you're fighting in a ring.
And
Ultimately, fighting in a
all
ring.
the stages are like that, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, there's one stage where you're floating in water, but the ring is still there. Like you're still, it's like a floating ring, but it's still a ring.
Yeah, yeah. You still confined in a small space to where you
Yeah,
could you could get
pretty
yourself
much,
knocked out. Yeah.
pretty much, yeah. And if they can expand on that, make the stages more, make the ring, or at least make the stages look more, more, appealing. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind
Are
that.
they? Are they? Do they have? Can you inflict more damage when the person is against the wall?
Yeah, of course, yeah. They have wall grabs and stuff like that. Wall grabs, you can, there's a bunch of stuff you can do against them.
Okay, so it's similar like with Tekken 5. Okay,
Yeah,
where you inflict the double the damage when you inflict them against the wall. Okay,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right, yeah, that's cool. I mean, like, see, stuff like that. I think again, having ring outs, I feel like it just cheapens the game. And if all you have to do is just back up, make the right move, and then you just knock your opponent out, regardless of um how much damage you he inflicted on you. And like I just think that's kind of unfair to me.
I guess. But like to me, I just feel like it's part of the strategy. Um, Another thing that they can add, I think they do need to have a story. They need to have a story mode in it, something story related.
I
They
think they
do.
have to have story too. Yes, because
I
again, just like when it comes to video games, movies, TV shows, cartoons, anime, all that stuff, you have to have some type of emotional connection with the character.
and I
And
think
if
that's why if they're gonna do a reboot, I actually wouldn't mind them doing a reboot because, like I said, they've had 5 entries to the series, and to my count, based on the original, I think they had 8 original characters in the game, and they
in the
really,
original one, right?
yeah, I think in the
Okay.
let me double check. Let me double check. Um, oh come on. All right, well,
Oh
all
yeah,
right,
Monkey, you said nice story. Like, yeah, yeah, that was a very funny story. Like, he's just constantly running after his mom in the rain, just chasing the car. And what makes it more funny is that she passed us at least 3 times.
And I got in trouble for that too. I got in trouble for that too.
For running after her.
No, for walking in the rain.
Oh, you got in trouble fucking.
Yeah, because like yeah, 'cause I should not. Yeah, I should not have been. I should not have been doing that. That's dumb.
Oh man, funny, funny.
Okay, in the OG game, they only had 8 characters.
In the
In
original.
the Yeah, in the original game, they only had 8 characters. So obviously if you're gonna do a remake and ultimately altogether they have, let me see, they have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They've only added 11 characters ever since then. So the game has 19 characters. You can do a reboot, keep every character in the game, just do a reboot, and just add a story element to each character.
Exactly.
They
I
can easily
agree.
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I mean, Mortal Kombat did that, and they have like twice. I think how many characters did that game have? Like 20 plus. You know what I mean? At least I think. At least I think. Yeah, I think it was 20 plus characters. But they did the same thing. They
yeah,
can and they can
yeah,
do it. Sega can absolutely do it.
yeah. Sega could do it. They just had to stop being lazy. To me, I think it was just being lazy. Bunch of liabouts that don't want to put in the work. And look, if you are willing to make each character completely different from another character, have it well balanced, you obviously have the talent. Just have a couple writers, make a story for per character, and everything
And
will be fine.
and it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be serious. Because if when you look at when you listen to the voices of the Virtua Fighter character, they are hilarious. They're very hilarious. Like they're not like you don't have to take it seriously. You just give everyone a purpose to fight, and that's really it. Like just that's pretty much it.
Hilarious as mean the voice acting is bad.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Oh
very yeah. Some of it is very bad, very
no,
bad.
okay. They,
But
they need to they need to
that what
make
makes it funny.
improvements. They need to make improvements.
No,
If that's the
I
case,
don't.
they need to make improvements.
Honestly, like all you need is a story. A story. If you want to make the gameplay a little bit faster, that's fine. Because that's. But ultimately, all they really need to do is just improve. Just do those two things. Add more. I think the one thing that annoys me when it comes to fighting games is that there's a lot less single player content than there used to be. That
Hmm.
needs to change. And hopefully Sega leans in more into the offline stuff. Obviously the online stuff is the most important thing. I get it, but offline content is important. That's really the only thing I don't like about Tekken 7,
What is?
the lack of offline content.
Oh, okay, okay. You don't like okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like but everything else, like honestly, I think they can do it. Whether it's six or a reboot of one, but obviously having all the characters instead of just having 8. I think that'll be fine.
Okay, so before you finish up, I
Hmm.
wanted to ask. Okay, okay, can you see this?
Hmm.
Do you see the Virtua Fighter um
Yeah,
window?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, now look at we're not gonna get copyrighted, are we?
It depends on who. No, I think we should be fine.
Okay, well I muted it. So all
Hmm.
right, I'm looking at the gameplay,
Hmm.
and to me, I think these are professional. Oh yeah, this is the tournament.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. This is evil,
yeah,
actually.
yeah. This is evil. Now look, like for me, it does look like the game is not as slow like I thought it was.
Hmm.
The only problem that I have is it's just not flashy to me. Like there's no finesse. Like there's no type of excitement. I don't see anything really exciting going on. Like when you watch this, and then let's say you watch a Dead or Alive, or let's say you
Hmm.
watch a Tekken, like you feel the impact. Like for example, like when Paul Phoenix does his crazy punch move, the down forward punch, like you feel the impact, like as if you yourself got hit. You know what I'm saying? Like it to me, those type of games make me feel more engaged when I'm facing an opponent or if I'm facing you or whoever. Here, I'm not saying the gameplay is just is bad or awful, but it just look plain. If that makes sense.
No, I can understand. Like, 'cause look, everybody that I tried to get into the series didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the longest. I remember because the first Virtua Fighter game I played was actually Virtua Fighter 4
Hmm.
on on the PlayStation 2, and I remember the commercial for it. I was like, "Yo, this game look." Cause I was never into Virtua Fighter until then,
Oh,
but
you
then
were
I
never
saw
you
4.
were interested.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Because honestly, it looked plain. It didn't look fun. And obviously, I was a Tekken fanboy at the time, so you had to take that into account also.
Yeah.
But 4 changed all of that. It looked beautiful. It was the best looking fighting game out at the time. It looked really good. But even with 4, it was a little slow. But it was just until I got.
Exactly.
But it was until I got into it and understood the moves, understood the gameplay when I really started to fall in love with it. You know what I'm saying? But not everyone feels that way. Like my nieces, I told them it was free. They downloaded it. They said it looked boring, so they didn't download it. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I get it. I get it. Like especially if you're playing Tekken or Dead or Alive, and then you go to this, yeah, it's a stark. I wouldn't say decline, but it's a very stark difference in gameplay style.
Right.
And then
I think that's what I was trying to say, not the actual when I'm comparing that with Dead or Alive. But go ahead.
yeah, but honestly, but it's also the game that's of all the fighting games that I can think of is the one that stuck truest to original form. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't add anything that was like cheap or exploitive or something that would help new players out like Tekken or Soul Calibur did. Like no, it feels like Virtua Fighter.
Well, yeah, I mean, I give them credit for keeping the game original and not try to copy and paste other fighting games. But at the very least, just try to make the game where it's somewhat user friendly, and just make it easier for people to play, and make it to where it has some type of finesse in there. Because like all these moves that I'm watching right now, like every single one of these moves, they're all just just plain regular moves that I could do. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
it's
I
like,
mean, if that's the case, then yeah, then what's the problem if you can do them?
no, I can do like as in real life.
Oh
Like
come on, see, cut
I'm I'm
that
I'm
crap.
I'm serious. Like I'm just not impressed. Like I'm looking at these moves right now. That's why I wanted to put this gameplay just to give you a visual what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
a clear perspective. That when you see this and then when you look at Tekken, it just Tekken feels more exciting to me. Like they not only that, but they also mess with the camera angles to some degree. Like when you get a big hit, you know how when you do like a just frames and you see all the sparks into the again. I know that's not realistic.
Mhm.
I understand that, but it does keep you more engaged when you see things like that on on the screen.
Well,
You know,
it is also because like this game, the fighting style of this game is based on traditional martial arts. So you're not going to see a whole bunch of super flashy moves. Even though they have a ninja in here named Kage who does do a lot of that flashy stuff, but that's not what the game is about. The game is about fundamentals. That's what the game's about.
uh, I mean, I guess, but I think Sega, because look, you said a lot of people, not a lot of people, but you know that there were people that were just not interested in the game.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure we don't really have that much people complaining why this game hasn't been rebooted or why the franchise hasn't continued. I guarantee you, if Tekken, obviously Smash Brothers, obviously Soul Calibur, maybe even DOA. If those games just stop, if the companies just stop making production of those games, there'll be a huge outrage. I didn't get that sense from when this game had stopped, making new games, when Sega started making new games for this. I didn't sense that. Like, I didn't sense people
Uh,
complaining about the game,
I did,
but
and a lot of other people did because
really.
the yeah, because like I said, there's a lot of people who like Virtua Fighter.
Hmm.
I don't. It's not. I like first. I personally, I think it's more popular than Dead or Alive. I don't think Dead or Alive is anything special. Like I know there's a fan base for Dead or Alive, but I don't think it's higher than Virtua Fighter. At least not in Japan. I can't speak. Probably in America, Dead or Alive is more popular, but in Japan, I think Virtua Fighter is you know probably is more popular.
Hmm. All
But
right,
you know, like
so
this is a Sega owned property, and Sega, like I mean Sega, we I don't know what's going on at Sega. I really don't.
I mean, aren't they still making it? Okay, now, like, you see, now this is Tekken. Now, obviously, you could tell immediately how fast paced the game is.
Hmm.
Obviously,
So
and
yeah, okay, understood. But we also had to take
and
into
look, you
account
see,
that.
you see the flash. Like, see right there. You see, like,
Hmm.
it keeps you in kind of like in suspense mode, especially for the spectators. And I believe that seeing all this, extra pizzazz, and yes, it's unrealistic, but I feel like it keeps everybody, the players, the spectators, more engaged, because you have no idea, what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing is plain, nothing is just more exciting to watch to me. And and I feel more excited. Okay, like, if there's a group of us, you're there, I'm there. Let's say Malta's there, Nintendo Gamer's there, our friends are there, Yoshi's there. It's my turn to play because somebody lost. Like for me, I'll just get more amped up and more. Again, this is just my personal opinion, and just for me personally. But a game like this, like, I feel like it's just more exciting to play than a Virtua Fighter, to where everything is just plain and dull and boring.
Okay,
Especially when you do the comparison. Like, I mean, you could see it immediately.
yeah, it's a different game. But you also have to remember this game came out what 4 or 5 years ago. The Virtua Fighter, the game that you're comparing it to, came out 15 years ago.
Okay, but even if I compare five, like, five was an awesome. Tekken 5 was an awesome game.
Yeah,
Tekken 6 was awesome.
yeah.
Hell, I remember you mentioned how you loved, and you exalted, Tekken 4. You love Tekken 4.
Yeah, I like Tekken 4, but the reason why I like Tekken 4 is because it's very different than what everything else was in that franchise. It took more, and I wouldn't say it took the same route as Virtua Fighter, because I forgot which one came out. I know I think I forgot which one came out first, but no, I liked how different Virtua Fighter felt. I mean, not Virtua Fighter. I like how different Tekken 4 felt, and
Hmm.
five is a better game. Like, obviously, five is a better game, but I like what they did with four. Four to me is still the most unique Tekken game that they've ever made.
Why was that game so unique? Because I really didn't play 4 that much. I only
because
played it in the arcades.
because four is really the only one that had like interactive stages.
Oh,
Cause
4 did.
cause yeah, cause it didn't have like cause with four they went more the route of Dead or Alive when it came to the interactive stages.
Hmm.
So you would have uneven ground. You have stages where there was obstacles in the way. Obviously, if you fight in the garage, they had cars there that you can destroy. I think you can destroy them if
Hmm.
you knock them in front of it. But it was the most unique Tekken game that was ever made.
It
And
was the
five
most unique. Yeah.
and five just kind of mixed um the gameplay of four somewhat with the speed of Tekken 3. So it
Okay.
so with five, it had the speed of three and kind of like more of the stages of four, but without the stuff in the middle. So
Correct. Yeah.
you had some stages that were infinite stages, and you had some of them that were wall stages. So that was really the first Tekken game to have the combination of both. that
Yeah,
both
yeah,
yeah,
I do remember. They had infinite stages and how you could inflict a lot of damage into the walls.
yeah.
Um, my goodness, look, this dude is so freaking broken, man. But
No. Akuma's not broken.
that dude's broken, man. Like he's the only one that could use projectiles in the game,
No, no,
and
no,
and
no, 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 no,
isn't
no,
he
no,
the only one?
no,
Oh no,
no.
Geese can also. Yeah, I remember Geese could
Geese,
also
and they
do
have
it.
another character. They have an original character in Eliza that can do it too.
Okay,
All right,
yeah,
but
but I think he's a broken character. Like that dude could like get out of almost any situation safely. But what were you gonna say?
I mean, I was about to wrap up the topic, but
Okay.
yeah. So, like I said, I'm excited for Tekken. I'm excited for Virtua Fighter 6 if it comes out. It's gonna be a while if it
Hmm.
does come out. So yeah,
Yeah,
we'll.
for me again, I'm not really that interested. Let me get out of here. Um, but what I will say this though, I will say that I am going to give the game a try. I'm going if they make a reboot, and especially if they add story into it, obviously I'm going to give it a try.
All right.
Because I mean, look, the game hasn't we haven't had a new Virtua Fighter in such a long time, and I do appreciate the fact that it's different, and I do appreciate the fact that no character plays the same.
That's my favorite part about it.
Yeah, pretty much you don't really have another. I know Tekken have is similar, but no, Tekken have a lot of character that plays the same way.
Hmm.
They do. So as I heard DOA is the same way
The
too.
gameplay style in general is the same, regardless of who you pick. There's some things that some characters do better than others, but like outside of maybe a couple of moves, as long as you get to learn the launchers and learn to do the combos afterwards, then you're good to go.
Well, you could actually do well with the game without launching. You could do a lot of
Yeah, true.
there's a lot of footsies that you could do,
Yeah,
within
yeah,
that
true,
game.
true. But like but at some point you are gonna have to learn how to do like combos and stuff like that after you get the advantage.
Yeah. Because like there's different strategies how a lot of these professionals use, and I've tried to do them too. Where let's say you launch a character in, and you don't do a full combo because you see that they're about to land near the wall,
Hmm.
and then they kind of like stop in mid combo, and then they do a reset,
Hmm.
and they do a completely different combo because they got stuck into the wall,
Yeah.
next to the wall. So yeah, there's different ways how you could play different strategies, which I appreciate with Tekken also. But overall, when it comes to Virtua Fighter, I am going to give the game a try if they find when it finally comes and release, whether if it's a new game or reboot. I'm willing to give it a try.
All right. Okay. Okay. And FYI, Malta said so. Y'all favorite genre is fighting games. That's my favorite genre. That's mine.
Uh, like I'm pretty much stuck between that and adventure games because I really I think I might put fighting games on there. Yeah, I think fighting game is number one, or one and adventure game is 1A because I do appreciate RPGs also. Um, but I think fighting games is basically it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next topic.
Yeah. So we are done with Virtua Fighter. All right, this was a nice conversation.
Hmm.
What's next? So we have we're going to
Garnett.
sports. Just to let you know, Malta, we're going to sports now. If you're interested, if you're not interested, I get it, but what are we talking about? The Becky situation?
No. You can do Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett.
Okay. Ray Allen. Okay, so are you able to oh no, I didn't share it yet. Give me one second. Let me share this real quick. And here we go with the Ray Allen. Um all right, the reason why I am talking about this is old news, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we're in 2022 now. And granted, the article was posted in December 29th, which is around the corner. It's not really that long ago. But as we all know, we're in December 2022. And this of Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Rajon Rondo, basically all not talking to Ray Allen, which what I think he went to Miami back in 2000 and what 12?
Mm-hmm.
No, was it 12?
I think it was 13.
13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're in 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you mean to tell me that after all these years, I'm going to read the article real quick, but you mean to tell me after all these years, you still don't want to talk to the guy just because he went to Miami? Like, I feel like now you're just being petty. You being you being the baby. What you're basically saying is you guys winning a championship together didn't mean anything to you anymore. That's essentially what you're saying. 'Cause I don't understand the fact that it was still a business move. But before I read the article, do you have anything to say real quick?
No, it doesn't surprise me. You got a bunch of all three, like Pierce, Garnett, and Rondo. It doesn't surprise me. They're all douchebags. So
Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick small briefing and then we'll move on. So back in 2008, the Boston Celtics made NBA history by winning their 17th championship against their longtime rivals. At the time, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo, and Ray Allen have formed one of the league's most dominant lineups when they won that title. Nobody would have imagined anything breaking their bond. Now look, now see, when they this is going back to what we discussed, from our last podcast. In my opinion, this was the first super team that was assembled, not the Miami Heat team. This was the original super team. And for once again, I'm gonna continue on, but once again, for people to let this slide but get upset, with LeBron James saying that he ruined the NBA and all the other, mumbo jumbo. I think it's a bunch of hogwash. Why aren't they giving the same energy to Boston? Why?
because like I said, like all those guys got traded there. That's why people don't look at it the same way. And plus, a lot of people have respect and reverence to the Boston Celtics because of their childhood. So they look at a team like Miami. They look at a brand new franchise, and they're like, "Oh, not Miami!" Like no one go to the games. Like people don't care about Miami like that. And and then you also have to take into account LeBron James, what he did. He made people in Cleveland upset, and that upset people like Charles Barkley and Mike Wilbon and all those other fucking you know all those fucking people. And like all of it is just nostalgia. People get caught up in nostalgia.
Yeah. All right. So, unfortunately, the fallout of the group is no mystery to anyone who has bothered to keep up. Ray Allen moved to Miami Heat a few years later, caused his former teammates to cut ties with the legend, and they still don't talk till this day. Oh my goodness. All right. So, all right. Looks like okay. Let me read this quote. So, who's saying this? I guess this is Ray Allen talking. I'm assuming this is Ray Allen.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, so quote, there's a rift that formed between you and the core members of the 2008 Celtics championship team. Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Rajon Rondo. It apparently began when you left for Miami. Are they still hard feelings? Allen said, quote, we don't talk, sadly. I remember after we won in 2008, something that Kevin said, that we are going to be brothers for life. Hogwash. He goes on, that this is going to keep us bonded. Rip Hamilton and I are Yukon brothers and championships, and we're connected for life. When he won a 2004 with the Pistons, they stayed connected and bonded. That's something we've done a poor job as Celtics, keeping that bond connected.
Go,
It- Go
can
ahead.
I say something?
Go ahead.
No, you no read it and then I have my thoughts on this.
Okay. Back right here.
Yeah, go ahead. Continue reading.
Um,
Continue reading.
when he won in 2004 with the Pistons, they stayed connected and bonded. That's something we've done a poor job at Celtics, keeping that bond connected. It's not by my doing either. The whole story of me leaving for Miami, regardless of that, it doesn't change anything that we've done as a group. That group and what we did is historic. It'll take cooler heads to prevail and for us guys to say what we are, what are we mad? What are we mad about? What are we mad about? There are so many other things happening in the world. We got to preach unity and togetherness, and for me, that's always been my mantra. I don't like the fact that we haven't talked. At some point, I'm sure we will have conversations and move this stuff past us. All right, what you was gonna say?
Okay, clearly they resent him going to Miami. And then look, and Malta said this. He had a couple things to say. Ray Allen going to Miami after losing to them in the playoff 2 years in a row was
Hmm.
a weak move. That's what he thinks.
That's what Garnett thinks, and
No,
everybody else.
that was Malta said that.
Wait. I didn't even get to. Okay, so Malta, you think that was a weak move for him to go to Miami after they got beaten. Um, uh, you know, I do understand that point why you would think it's a weak move, but Ray Allen and Ray Allen's defense, he now it's not in this article, but from what I've heard, that they were on the verge of trading him anyway.
Fact, they actually already did trade. They actually did trade him. They traded him to Memphis, and the deal didn't go through. I don't remember why it didn't go through, but it didn't go through.
Okay, it didn't go through.
So here's the thing I'm trying to understand. Garnett and the main person who's behind this is Garnett. Like Rondo and Allen, they don't like each other. They don't like each other. So that's obvious. And
Hmm.
I think Pierce and Allen, I know they talking. I know Pierce has said that they've talked to each other in the past. Since then, the main person who's done all this is Garnett.
Oh, you think you think he was the
He's the
one?
main one. Yeah, he's the
Okay.
main guy doing this,
Hmm.
right? And the funny thing is that they expect him to be loyal to Boston, and yet Boston wasn't loyal to him, to
Correct.
Ray. So why the hell should he be why the hell should he be loyal to Boston? And as far as I'm concerned, if I was Ray Allen, I would have gone to Miami too.
If you were Miami, I mean, if you were Ray
Yeah,
Allen.
absolutely. Why
Hmm.
wouldn't I? You get to play with at the time the best player in the league. You get to play with a top 3 4 player in Garnett. I mean, in
Wade.
Wade, right? Like you and like what's the point? Like yeah, like it's a no brainer that he went to Miami.
Yeah,
Like, he-
and Malta. See that's the difference because you see you could say that it was a weak move, but they were going to trade him anyway. They were trying to get rid of him. So because of that, I can't really blame Ray Allen for doing what he wanted to do and just go to Miami because they didn't want to keep him. They didn't want to keep him. So I don't blame Ray Allen at all, for going to to Miami. I don't. And yes, I understand that they were already a super team anyway. But even him going there, like you still had competition throughout the league. Now, me having not had this argument when it comes to how important competition is, the reason why I never really gotten that upset with Miami because even once they got united, I knew for a fact that they weren't going to win every single year. Like I knew it. I knew they weren't going to win every year. And for me, ever since the big three had originally started with Boston, and then when it continued on, with Miami, you had 5 different teams winning championships anyway during that span. Because like I said in my last podcast, you had the Lakers who won championships, you had Boston who won, who had Miami who had won 2 championships. Now remember, this is still happening while Boston is still intact when Miami won their back to back championships, and then they lost to San Antonio. So you had 5 different teams winning during the whole Big Three era between Miami and Boston. So you still had 5 different teams, which means you had competition, across the board, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So I don't. This is why I don't really get all upset when LeBron goes to Miami and then additionally Ray Allen goes to Miami as well, because you still have competition, throughout the league. It's when the competition gets ruined is when I feel like, okay, it was a bad move. But but going back to Ray Allen, their team was going to get rid of him anyway. So, and I guarantee you this, I guarantee that if he had gone to anywhere else,
No,
Kevin Garnett,
yeah, this doesn't exist.
exactly.
This doesn't exist. The reason why they hate him now because he went to Miami. That's it.
Yeah, and how the beef with Garnett and now how much Paul Pierce hates LeBron James and how Garnett hates hates LeBron James. And speaking of LeBron James and the Heat squad, did they had any resentment against Wade, or was it just LeBron?
No, I mean, when Pierce is all LeBron, and Pierce, the dummy, thought that I remember he had a comment where he thought that he was a better player than Dwayne Wade. Jalen Rose pretty much promptly put him in his place. So I
Oh
mean,
man,
it is. I mean, it is what it is. Like, here's the thing. I don't I don't mind them being irritated that he went to Miami. I don't mind that at all.
really?
No, I don't. Because
Okay.
look, at the end of the day, this is what you always wanted, right? Like, you don't like the fact that, like, Malta said here, Celtics Heat were probably the best rivalry in the NBA from 2010 to 2013. Yeah, I agree with him.
I agree with
But
that too.
this is the rivalry that you want. This is the type of stuff that you want. Like, that's what you want. You want teams hating each other. You don't have that now. You don't have that now. Like, everyone's friendly with each other. Stars go to other teams and stuff like that, and you don't have that. You don't have that sense of rivalry anymore.
I agree. Yeah,
But
I concur in full.
but I'm not gonna. First of all, I'm gonna always defend Ray Allen because he went to my Miami Heat. So that's. But even with all that, they tried to trade this man, and he was always in trade rumors. Even after the first year they were there.
Yeah,
He was always the one that was always like, "Oh, trade this guy, trade Ray Allen for this guy or that guy or whatever." He was always there. He was always in trade rumors. So if you're Ray Allen, why would you always choose Boston to just don't go to the enemy? No, f you guys. I'm going to the team that I feel is gonna give me the best shot to win the championship. And for Ray Allen, it was Miami.
exactly.
It was Miami. So I don't have like all this is now is just them being just crabby old men. That's all. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think you know like because again, I think if he had gone to any other team, they wouldn't have said anything. They all would have been cool. They all would have been buddies. That to me, that's just being fake. That all that is a facade. Like what you're pretty much saying is there's a caveat. I'll be your friend as long as you don't go to Miami. That's pretty much what you did. As long as you don't go to Miami, we'll stay as friends. And I think that's a bunch of BS. I think that's a bunch of hogwash, in
Yeah.
my
So
opinion.
Malta said that KG, Pierce, and Rondo are legends. Yeah, agreed. And he said that Kevin Garnett is top 10 player ever. No, absolutely not.
Okay, to me, if he had won a couple more championships, I wouldn't mind being putting him in top 10.
He's not. No, listen. The top power forward of all time. It starts with number one. I guess you can argue if he was better than Karl Malone. That's fine. But to me, if the top 10 list doesn't include Tim Duncan, and if there's only one power forward in the top 10, it should be Tim Duncan. That's number one.
Exactly.
That's number one. If
Mhm.
wherever you want to put Garnett, 2, 3, 4, whatever, Tim Duncan's number one.
Yeah,
And
Tim
I
Duncan is
can
number
and I
one.
can and I can name 9 NBA players that were better than Kevin Garnett even after that. No, no
Well,
knock on no knock on KG. Great player, league MVP, defensive player of the year. Very few guys in that league has done that. But as far as I'm concerned, he like when it comes to greatest power forwards of all time, he's not number one. He's at maybe number two, maybe number two.
maybe number two. Okay, so you put him ahead of Karl Malone.
I don't know. I don't know. I think the stats when it comes to like the accomplishments, I actually think that he has a case to be number two above Karl Malone.
Hmm.
But I don't know, man. Karl Malone was so good for so long. I don't know. And Molto said that as long as you don't join our enemies, we will be friends. Yeah, I you know what I mean. But they're not your enemy. They're just your rivals. That's all they are. They're your rivals.
Yeah.
Like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson played in some of the most physically demanding games in the history of the sport. Those Lakers Celtics games were battles. They literally had brawls in on the court.
Yes.
But guess what? At the end of the day, after all of that, they respect each other and they're friends. So you're telling me that and they played in a time where hating your other team made sense. It made sense because free agency wasn't what it was now, what it is now, and a lot of the teams they stayed together longer. So it made more sense to hate the guy you're playing. But even them, they can sit there and appreciate each other for what they did. At least they can be friends. And you're telling me that these three can't be friends? Like it's dumb. It's
Yeah,
dumb.
yeah. Is it not is dumb, and plus, where's all this energy of you have to do what's best for yourself? Oh, you have to. It's a business move. Like all you can't just suddenly go throw that all away just because he went to Miami. So now all that doesn't matter. What you're saying is, oh, that's the exception. No, there should be no exception. We obviously know what Ray Allen brought to the table. Like he was an awesome 3-point shooter. He's still number 2 right now, even after he retired because Curry he just went. He remember this just happened recently as far as the 3-point making the most 3-point because Curry did that 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
So he was number 1. That like this dude is absolutely a living legend. Being with Reggie Miller and Steph Curry as the best 3-point shooters of all time. I mean, yeah, I'll take that guy any day in my team. Ray Allen was a phenomenal player. I think his defense was decent. I don't know if you think that way, but I think his defending, the way how he would do all sorts of cuts. He led what was it? He played for did he play for the Bucks before, right?
Yeah. That was the first. I think. Yeah, he was drafted by the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks, Seattle. Every team that he went on was a good team. Every team that he went on, was a good team. So he's absolutely, a Hall of Famer, and I am happy that he went to Miami because he was able to get another ring, and he was a really good, contributor, with that team. Now,
And he made the greatest shot in NBA Finals history.
that will be one of the most memorable shots of all time.
And he would not have done that if he stayed with Boston. So I'm just saying, like he would not have done that if he stayed with Boston.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
Mhm.
think you're right. There is look, like think about it. You know for a fact that they wouldn't have won a championship even if he stayed. They wouldn't have won no
No,
championship. They wouldn't beat
no. If,
Miami.
if my if Miami wasn't going to beat them, there was always going to be another. They were not going to beat the team out west. Whether it was the OKC or their San Antonio team, they weren't going to beat them. They weren't going to beat
San
them.
Antonio, no. I think they would have had a chance against OKC.
No, I don't think so. Like I think about it. I don't think. I don't. You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, cause those Boston teams, their main thing was defense. That was their main thing. Maybe they could have, probably Harden probably would not have shown up either way if he was there. But
No, because I think because remember Kevin Garnett, he's an excellent elite defender, wouldn't you say?
yeah, but can he guard Kevin Durant?
I think at that time, at that Kevin Durant, not I'm not talking about the Kevin Durant now. I'm talking about the Kevin Durant back then. I think he would have been able to guard that Kevin Durant because remember his dribble ball handling wasn't that good at the time, and
So,
and
Moses said, like he said that their championship window closed after 2010 finals loss. That team was way too old. I agree with him. Like they were still a very good team, obviously, but that team window closed like after that championship loss to the Lakers.
honestly, I think the last chance that they had is when they took Miami to the game 7. I think that was the
Yeah,
last one. But
yeah,
that
yeah,
but that but that happened after though.
yeah. That's true. That's true. But like But even still, like Miami should have ended that series earlier. But the thing is, I think if I'm trying to get the timeline correct, I think Bosch just came back from in that series after he got hurt he got hurt against Indianapolis,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just Wade in and LeBron doing the thing shit, and and he came back during the series, but he clearly wasn't 100%. And me personally, I think obviously Rondo became a more important player to that team as the time went on because he was the young buck of the group.
Yes.
He was the young guy in the group, and he was obviously he was a spectacular player. But yeah, their championship window closed. Like to me, I don't know if they would have won another championship even if they had beaten Miami that year. I don't know if they could be in OKC.
Yeah, that's why I said, if they had beaten Miami in that game 7, I think they would have stood a chance against OKC because OKC was very young at the time.
Yeah, they were. They
Kevin,
were.
I think Garnett would have been able to guard KD at that
Hmm.
time. And because remember, I don't know if you remember the memorable moments that remember how whenever Kevin Garnett would block somebody's shot, he would grab the ball, keep the ball inbounds. I don't know if you ever remember.
Hmm.
He would always block the shot, but he would grab the basketball, keep it in bounds, and move on to offense. Like I don't ever recall anybody else do that except him. Like he has one of those most memorable moves that only a particular athlete would have, and that was one of them. And if I remember correctly, I think he was like what 8 or 9 time all defense first defensive player,
Hmm.
defensive team, and he was also in the second defensive team. So Kevin Garnett was absolutely an elite player, and if people want to put him in the top 15, I would say so, but I can't put him in the top 10 because he only had one ring. Unfortunately, he had to mess with the LA Lakers when he was in Minnesota. Like he wasn't going to beat that team.
Hmm.
He wasn't going to beat that team. But my last thing I wanted to say, and
Yeah,
if we have
and that was the only and the credit his greatness. It was the only time that team was ever good was when he got better. Was when he became MVP. That was
yeah,
the only year that team was good.
yes,
So
yes. So he was obviously an elite player. Ray Allen to me, he's an elite player,
I mean, all
and
those guys are. I just think that the ultimate thing is that, like they're still holding on to a grudge. Like I mean, get over it, man. Like get the hell over it.
yeah, like if that last championship that y'all won, have mean anything to you whatsoever, like you should be able to pass this by now. At least by now. I mean, we're in 2022. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys, you showed this dude showed so many videos of going to going to his house, eating peanut butter. Like they had this tradition that they did where they would like eat peanut butter before the game, and whatnot. So you basically want to throw all that away, the championships. You want to throw all that stuff away because he went, to Miami team. And look, I get that he hates LeBron James. I get it, and Paul Pierce hates LeBron James too. Like, again, I don't know how they feel about Bosch or Wade. I don't think they have anything against those two guys.
I
I
mean, they
don't.
did. I know Garnett did an interview with Wade a couple years ago. So I mean, I don't know. I just feel like those guys are just being. I feel like those guys are just being crabby for no reason.
I agree. So to end this thing up, um yeah, I don't want to read anymore. I don't. We don't need this last bit, but I think I'm happy that once again I'm happy for Rayon that for winning that second championship. One of the best 3-point shooters of all time, and I know he really wants to have a bondage with those guys because he's obviously still talking about it.
Hmm.
So he's obviously still hurt by it, and I feel bad. I really do feel bad because he's a great guy. He's a very humble human being, and he's just a very likable guy. He's kind of like
And the other three are not. Like at least as far as I'm concerned, the other three are not. So so it is what it is.
yeah. He's just one of those guys where you just have so much respect for because of his shooting abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like he's kind of like a Steph Curry. Like you just have no choice but to like the guy. You know what I'm saying? So, or Dwayne Wade and other guys. But yeah, like at this point, I'm gonna just say this: Ray Allen, just move on. Move on. If they're going to hold this grudge now, there's just no point. Forget it. There's no hope. They're not going to and one last thing, have to know. This shows the hypocrisy for everybody else because even Big Baby Davis, he was cool when after Ray Allen left, but once KD was having this huge KG was having this huge grudge. That's all of a sudden everybody want to turn on Ray Allen. So good riddance, because those guys were being fake anyway. Because they wanted to come to you like everything was fine, everything was cool. But once KG said what he said, everybody else want to follow suit. Then you don't need those guys in your life anyway.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, move on to the next topic. I think you also want to talk about Becky Hammon.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it brief though. It's just going to be really short. So want me to continue on?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So this is Becky Hammon, where she basically went to the WNBA Ace. And before I read this, I think she absolutely did the right move. Because you're going to disagree with me because for some reason you just have a habit of defending females. But to me, I believe she did the right move for going to the WNBA because this is just my personal opinion.
You better be careful. You better be careful. You better be prepared to defend that opinion.
I believe. Look, I believe, in my personal opinion, that she was just not as good as the other applicants. And
based on what?
Based on based on references, based on
what's a bigger reference than Greg Popovich?
Okay, let me tell you what it is. If what Greg Popovich said was 100% true and 100% accurate, why haven't anybody else stepped up besides him?
What are you talking about?
Why hasn't anybody else vouched for her besides Greg Popovich?
Do you need anybody else?
Absolutely.
Who do you need?
What do you mean, who do you need?
What do you need?
What do you mean, who do you need? To me,
I mean, she's only worked in one organization for her coaching career.
Okay, but you mean to tell me that not one other person in that organization, not one player, not nobody else could have vouched for her? Only Greg Popovich. It's clearly that he was to me, in my opinion, he was just pandering. That's all he was doing. It was a woke move. It was a woke move.
Move.
Yes, that's all it was. All he wanted to do was make it seem like, oh, she was qualified for the job. And frankly, to me, I think there would have been a bigger outrage if she got a coaching job over a Mark Jackson or over a Sam Cassell, over anybody else, because they would have said that those guys would have been way more qualified than she is, and I agree with that. 100% agree. 100% agree with that.
Based on what?
Ever since she's been in San Antonio, what improvements have they made? Because how long had they been in that team? How long she been in that team?
Dude, like that's not her job.
How long have they been in that team?
I don't know, but the reason why they are where they are right now because they don't have any talent. What does that have to do with her?
Obviously,
who's the head coach on the team?
Who's
the head coach on the team?
Okay, it's Greg Popovich, but that doesn't matter.
No, it does matter.
Because she wants another job. She wants another job
for them not being good. That's what you're doing.
Isn't she part of the organization? Isn't she part of the? No. Isn't she part of the coaching staff? Yes,
it's not just her.
Is she part of the coaching staff?
It's not just her.
Is she part of the coaching staff?
It's not just her.
We
all know We
part
know what happens.
of the coaching staff.
We know what happens when your team is no good.
Okay, is she
Generally.
part of the coaching staff? Yes or no?
No, I'm not answering the question.
No,
You're being
because
dumb. You're being dumb. You're being stupid. You're being stupid.
no, because you know I caught you.
I'm gonna say no. You're being stupid.
You know I caught you.
No, you're being
She's still
stupid.
part of this. She's still part of the coaching
No,
staff.
but that's not the name. But that's not the person you named.
Okay.
That's not the person you named.
Listen. If you are a part of a coaching staff and you are losing, what chances of you of getting a coaching job if you're not in a winning organization?
Okay, so she's the only one that's responsible for that.
Why do you think Lou Walton was a coach for the Lakers? Because lucky for him, he was in Golden State. Yes or no?
And was that done for him?
No. Listen, that was the result. For him? No. That was the result. That is my point.
What about Steve Nash?
What
about Steve Nash? He didn't have a coaching job ever, and he still got one.
But who vouched for him though? Exactly.
Who vouched for him?
Kevin Durant. What are you talking about?
So we take players' advice. So we take players' advice as far as who gets the coach.
So you mean wait. Now you're acting stupid. Tom Brady just did that for Antonio Brown. Tom Brady just did that for Antonio Brown. No. I'm not blaming anybody.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
What I'm saying is, I'm trying to give you a history lesson here.
No.
When Luke Walton,
that's why you're being stupid.
I'm giving you facts. These are facts. If you don't want to believe the facts, that makes you dumb.
Right, okay? I'm gonna prove you wrong right now.
When Luke Walton was in Golden State, and then Steve Kerr had his little issue, whatever, he took over, right? So because when he was in a winning organization, guess what happened?
You are about to look stupid right now.
Guess what happened?
You're about to look stupid right now.
Guess what happened? You're about to look stupid. He got the job, yes or no?
You're about to look stupid.
He got the job, yes or no?
You're about to look stupid.
This is going to be the second question that you're not going to answer.
No. I'm not answering any of your questions. I'm not answering none of your questions.
Yeah, because that shows you that you are wrong and I am right.
You're not.
You're wrong and I'm right. And then you say, and then you're
blaming her for the team being bad. That's how the conversation started.
I didn't blame her.
That's how the conversation started.
I didn't blame her for
yeah, you did.
I said she was part of a losing organization.
They're not a losing organization.
You just said that their team. So you've been exposed. You've been exposed. You said that they have no talent.
They don't.
You just said that they don't have any talent.
They don't. They don't have any discernible talent.
Okay, so if they don't have any talent, how does that make your resume good?
Look at Okay, look at the picture that I have right here. Look at the picture. No, look at the picture I have right now.
Let me read.
Look at the picture I have right now.
Let me read.
Look at the picture I have right now. Look at these assistants. Look at these assistants. Look at these assistants. Look at these assistants.
Can I read the article?
No, wait. Read this because you've been exposed already. You've been exposed already.
I'm going to read the article.
Look at the coaching tree. Look at the coaching tree that's right there.
You want me to cooperate?
Look at the coaching tree that's right there right now.
But you
look at the coaching tree that's there right now.
But you wouldn't answer that one question.
Brett Brown.
Let me
Jane Borrego.
Let me look.
Monty Williams, Jim Boylan. They were all part of the staff. They were all there. They've been there.
I can't even see anything.
They were all there. So why is it that the quote losing that they've been doing, you're pointing it on her? How the hell does that make any sense? How does that make any sense?
What are you talking about? No, what are you talking about now? What are you talking about?
You're putting the losing on her.
I said she was part of a losing organization. That's what I said.
But technically, so were these guys.
Oh, come on. No. Let me see. Let me look.
Let me see if I can.
All
Let me see.
2004, 2004, 2005, 2002 to 2013. Yeah, you're looking so stupid right now. They were winning at those years. Those years they were winning. What are you talking about?
All right, okay. Let's look. Okay,
Thank you,
because
thank you. So
no, 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 no.
that's
Okay,
another loss for you.
no.
That's another loss for
The thing is
you.
that she was the, what was her first year there?
That's another loss for you.
No, what was her first year there?
I'm gonna write this down because one, you wouldn't even answer questions.
No.
You wouldn't even ask the question.
I'm not having this discussion with you when all you're gonna do is just blame her for them losing.
I didn't
That's
blame
what you
her.
did.
I didn't blame her.
Okay, you said, "Oh, she didn't get a coaching job because they're a losing organization." What did that say?
Yeah, they were. That means the resume is not good.
Like this is so dumb. This is so stupid.
Yeah, I think you better stop. I think you better stop where you
being
are.
Stupid.
I think
You're
you
being
better.
stupid.
I think you
You
better
are
stop
being
where
stupid.
you are.
You are being stupid.
Before you
are being stupid.
Before you make a bigger hole
You are
than
being stupid.
you're already in.
What was her first year there? What was her first year there?
Before she was
What was her
already
first
in.
year there?
I don't know.
You're not gonna fucking look it up?
No.
All right, I'll do it.
Why should I? You gave me
You're the one that brought up the
all these
You're the first one to come up with the conversation.
All these assistant coaches that you gave were when they were winning. So that was a pathetic.
And then look at them now. Look at them now. Brett Brown, no job.
That was a pathetic.
James
pathetic
Brayco.
move that you did.
What's his team doing?
Pathetic move that you did.
What's his team doing? Right? You have Jim Boylan. Dude got fired. What the fuck does it matter if they were quote winning or not? No, what are you talking about?
All right, listen. I already proved you wrong. If you want to continue, go ahead. I already did. I already proved you wrong.
Okay, let me see if I because
and here's the part that you missed. If I'm trying to look. Wait, hold on. Monty Williams is still coaching.
Huh?
He's still coaching.
Who?
Monty Williams.
No, I didn't mention Monty Williams. I mentioned Jim Boylan. I'm talking about Jim Boylan.
Yeah, but you bringing these guys up.
All right, so she was her first year was 2014, right? Let's look at the sport. Let's look at the Spurs from then and there. Even though it doesn't matter, it shouldn't matter. Even though it shouldn't matter.
But you yourself said that resume. Wait, hold on. Yeah, you yourself said that resumes still matter. So don't you think? Don't you think? No, hold on. Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Now, we both agree that resumes obviously do matter. Now, I completely forgot to read the article, but okay, we both agree that resumes, do matter. If she came up, with the resume where the team was constantly losing, wouldn't you think the boss would still use that against her or anybody else for that matter?
No, because everyone knows what type of organization they are. Like, the Spurs are one of the greatest organizations in the NBA history. Yes or no?
Not lately.
Okay.
Not
they're
lately.
Not winning lately, but that's not because they're a bad organization. They don't really have that much talent.
Especially what they did to Kawhi. It did not make them look good. I know you agree with that.
No, I mean that could hurt. That could hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when we're talking about a guy who's elite. We're not talking about just a regular all-star here. We're talking about an elite player. And to a point to where people would say that he was the best player in the league at the time. At least for a couple of years, people would argue that Kawhi Leonard was at least the top 3 guy in the whole entire league. So you screw him up. That makes the organization look bad. At least at the very least, the medical staff.
All right. See, okay. All right. But the thing that I'm trying to understand is that why is it her fault? Why is it that she's the one that has to get punished for it?
No, I didn't say that the team was losing because it was her fault.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
but
she
Steve,
was
but
she
see
was
that, but
there
but,
when
but
the
you
team
brought up
was
her name.
losing.
Okay, that's fine, but that's not her problem. That's not her fault though.
Okay, but having
I look,
you keep saying
I'm not saying she should be a head coach or not. That's not what I'm saying.
what are you saying?
All I'm saying is that she was there as an assistant coach, and there's been a bunch of coaches that has been assistants for Popovich that went on to be coaches in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think them quote losing is the reason why she's not a head coach? No, I don't. I really don't.
Okay, why do you think she's not? She didn't get a coaching job.
Honestly, I don't know why.
No,
I don't know why.
You do
But
know
it's
why.
not. But it had nothing.
You do
It
know
had
why.
nothing. But it had nothing to do with them losing.
I think you were afraid to say it.
No, because it had nothing to do with them losing.
Okay, so since it has nothing to do with them losing, it has to be a reason. Why didn't she get the job?
I mean, Steve, I don't know.
Come on, Hammon, no. Just say it.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. Because she's the only NBA assistant coach out there.
Okay,
A
but
female assistant coach. She's the only one.
why does the female assistant coach should matter?
What?
Why should that matter? That she's a female assistant coach.
Because she's the only one in the fucking league, dude. She's the only one in it. She's the only female assistant coach.
So which means that's the reason why she didn't get the job, because she's a female?
I don't know. I don't know why she didn't get the job. There's only
Okay.
32 of them.
Okay.
And there's like what 6, 7, 8 assistant coaches per team.
You're able to dismiss of the organization losing, but yet you have no idea why she can't get the job.
Dude, they're not the Sacramento Kings. It's one thing if she was part of the Sacramento Kings, no shit, you don't get a job. But she's part of one of the winningest organizations of all time. That's what she's there. That's what she's there. That's what she's there for. Okay.
So because of life achievements, that's why.
What life achievement?
Not because of what's been going on recently, because they were such a huge success in the past, because she is now able to work for, well, she's not working for them anymore, but because she was working with them at the time, basically it's because it's the San Antonio Spurs. That's pretty much it. Just because of the name, because she was in the Spurs, she should automatically be qualified to get a head coaching job. I
mean, honestly, if you're going to give a job to Steve Nash with no coaching experience, then what's the criteria? Okay.
I already debunked that already. Kevin,
I was yelling at you. I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
What I said was because KD vouched for him, obviously they're going to give in to his demands and give him what he wants.
And you think that's right?
They're obviously going to do that. You think
that's right?
Well, LeBron James has done it. Tom Brady has done it. Like multiple people have done it.
Okay, that's fine. But
so you already have history. You already have history that it
has done in the past already. Done it, but that means has it always worked? Has it always worked?
I mean, for the most part, it worked for Tom Brady. They won the championship last year.
No, the coach been there. Bruce Arians been there.
Yeah.
Like Tom Brady didn't choose Bruce Arians.
No. But I'm talking about when he wanted Antonio Brown.
Okay, that's not the same thing. You're talking about player and coaches. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about players and coaches. I'm talking about player and players.
Okay, but I'm talking about how the players still have the power to pick who they want.
Do they?
We see Kevin Durant do it.
Okay, Kevin Durant did it. Yeah, you're right. But you know who else did it? Baker Mayfield did it, and that coach got fired within a year.
That's fine. But you see, the thing is, Steve Nash had leverage, even though he was never a coach before. And remember, Steve Nash worked with Kevin Durant even before then. You know what I'm saying? So because they had history, and you have a guy who is capable of leading a team.
Do you think that's right? Do you think that's right or wrong?
Do
you think that's right or wrong?
Like what, references? No, that's not wrong.
So that's not wrong. So having a coach, not like having someone be a coach even though he's never coached before, just because your star player wanted him, that's the right thing to do.
If I would actually agree with you if he had never worked with Steve Nash at all. If he just randomly just picked Steve Nash,
I mean,
then you would have a
to
point.
me, it sounds like he did randomly pick Steve Nash.
No, Steve, see, they worked together before.
How come? Like, okay, like in what capacity? In what capacity?
I mean, they did that. All I'm saying is just stating the fact that they worked together before. That's all I'm saying. So if he felt like Steve Nash could help them win because of the experience of working with Steve Nash, then yeah, Steve Nash had leverage over everybody else. That's just how it is. I get it. If Steph Curry, LeBron James, or anybody else said, I want this player or I want this coach, if they are able to do it, they'll do it. They'll do it. Same thing happened with Kawhi. They freaking Toronto was willing to give to Kawhi anything he wants as long as he stayed in Toronto.
He was only there for a year.
Yeah, but
he didn't pick a coach.
No. If they were willing to give in to his demands so that he could stay in Toronto after the championship.
But he didn't. He
okay,
left.
but what I'm saying is, you see how much power the player has. That's what you're missing.
No, I've been through that.
Okay, so
I've been through that.
Okay, so don't get upset that Steve Nash got the job because
I'm not upset that he got the job.
Okay, but here's
what I'm pissed off at you about, right? First off, you said that it was a woke move. First, this woman played basketball for her entire life. Okay, what do you mean so?
Go ahead.
She's one of the greatest WNBA players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she wanted to coach. He gave her a coaching job. She played in the city. She played for that organization. Technically. So it's not a fucking token job.
Sure.
It's not. No, it's not. You can think that because she's a woman. That's the only reason why you're saying that.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
No, sure. No, that's exactly the only reason why you're saying that. Despite the fact that she has more experience in that role than a lot of other assistants have there by playing basketball. That's the same thing that you said about Steve Nash. Similar to Steve Nash. Just because she didn't play in the NBA level doesn't mean she don't have experience playing basketball. First of all. Secondly,
if you didn't play in the NBA level, then
they have guys who never played.
You said
never played basketball. Never played NBA basketball.
You even said
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
What I'm gonna say.
You're gonna say, "Oh, she never played NBA basketball, so what does it matter?"
No, what I was going to say is that you are guilty of saying that the NBA and the WNBA is not the same. You said that.
Okay, they're not the same, but that doesn't mean basketball is not the same. They don't mean the basketball is not. That doesn't mean basketball is not the same. Basketball is basketball at the end of the day. It is what it is. So you dismissing her hire as being woke, that's bullshit on your part.
Sure it is.
Pure bullshit on your part.
No.
Trust me. If there's anybody who I would talk to about playing basketball, is you or her, I'm picking her 10 times out of 10.
Okay.
So for you to call it a woke hire is bullshit on your part.
I don't care what you have to say.
That's fine.
I don't give a rat's ass.
That's good. That's cool.
I don't give a rat's ass.
That's fine.
All I'm saying is, if she was that good after all that stuff that you said, if she was that good, and the fact that nobody else has vouched for her,
so you're blaming her.
The fact that nobody else vouched for her.
So you're blaming her.
No, I didn't.
So you're blaming her.
Don't put words in my mouth.
No. This is where to stop. This is where to stop. Don't sit there
after nobody
and say that you don't blame her. You don't blame her. And further, how do you know that? How do you know that?
Nobody has vouched for this woman.
How do you know that?
I just know.
No, because you're just making it up. That's what you're doing. You're just making it up.
Okay, sure.
You have anything else to say?
No, I just want to read the article.
Read the article.
Yeah, because I think you need to stop while you're ahead.
No. Because you need to stop while you're behind.
Because you behind. I made you look dumb at least 3 times already. You tried to pull these coaches off. That made you look dumb. Then you tried to pull up the whole Steve Nash thing. I debunked that. That made you look dumb.
No, you did not. No, you did not. Look at this. She came into the league after the 2014 season. At the
Last
2014 season,
Thursday,
she came into the league,
Becky
right?
Becky
They
Hammon
finished
announced
55 and 27.
plans to leave San
55 and
Antonio
27.
Spurs, bench to
55
become
and
the
27.
head coach of
Did you
the
hear the record?
WNBA
Did you
Las
hear the
Vegas
record?
Aces.
55 and
On
27.
Monday, she explained her decision while introduced at her new job on a video conference. Now, she said, I sat in head coaching interviews in the NBA, and people said two things. Hammon told reporters per Business Insider, Cash, you only been in San Antonio, and you never been a head coach. The Ace saw me as a head coach right now. Now, to me, this is her calling out um the NBA, because to me this is how I'm interpreting it. I'm interpreting it as she believes that nobody in the NBA, like the owners, see her as a head coach in the NBA. To me, I feel like she's somewhat taking a shot, at the
Her second year, she was 67
NBA.
and
And
15.
then now let me finish. You,
67 and
you said
15.
you said I could finish, right? Did you
67
say I
and
could finish?
15.
Hammond,
No, no, no.
44,
Answer that. Answer
played
that. Answer that. Answer
16
that question. Answer that.
seasons in the
Answer that.
WNBA, making 6 All-Star teams. After retiring, she joined Greg Popovich's bench in San Antonio as NBA's first woman assistant in 2014. She remained there for 8 seasons while interviewing for multiple NBA head coaching vacancies, including the Portland Trailblazers opening field last offseason by Chauncey Billups. She was not offered any NBA head coaching jobs. Um, this is the last part I'm going to read, and that'll be it. When the Ace came calling, she was interested, though she admitted that she initially had no intentions of leaving the NBA. I never closed the door on the WNBA because I love the WNBA. Having said, I've learned to just keep my options open and try to be open minded. When Ace President Nikki Fargas called, I listened. This is not really about the NBA or WNBA. Yeah, it is. That's a bunch of crap. But let's continue. This was about me personally being ready to have a team and wanting to have a team. Now, look, she wanted to have a team in the NBA. Let's just be real, okay? Let's just be real. She wanted to be a head coach in the NBA. I think the only reason why she went to the WNBA is obviously because nobody would hire her in the NBA. That's it. That's it.
Okay,
And
that's a bad thing.
and hmm?
That's a bad thing.
And all honesty, I think she make more money being a assistant head coach in the NBA. And I mean, I don't know how much a coach makes in the WNBA. I don't know. Maybe you know, but I don't. But I would. But
I don't know. It's irrelevant.
yeah, but I would think that she would be a more financial stature staying in the NBA, whether it's a head coach or assistant coach. Um. Okay. She also addressed the obstacles she faced as a woman interviewing for jobs, coaching men in the NBA. Okay, let me. All right, I hate stuff like this because if you are going to address that you had to face obstacles, I want to know. Give specifics. I want details. What are you talking about? Don't give me this vague statement and having people wondering. Oh, okay, you just faced obstacles. What obstacles? I want to know. I want to know.
Do you want to know, or are you just bullshitting?
Hmm?
Do you want to know, or are you just bullshitting?
No, I want to know. Why would you think I'm BSing?
Why? Like, it's not like you give a shit. So what does it matter?
Why would you think I'm BSing? No, I want to know because to me that's vague. But go ahead. Tell me.
Hold on, I'm doing something. You can keep talking.
All right. We never had these conversations about men leading women's teams. She said. Hammon will finish the NBA season with the Spurs. She'll then inherit an Aces team that posted the WNBA's second best record, 24-8, last season and lost in the playoff semifinals. She replaces Bill Lemonbeer, who left his position after coaching the A's for 4 seasons. She played her final 8 WNBA season with the San Antonio Spurs, which relocated to Las Vegas in 2018 and became Aces. Oh, let me still continue. Hang on a second. And she's kept a close eye on the WNBA during her Spurs tenure. To be quite honest, I've been watching the WNBA and stealing their plays for a while, Hammon said. And wait, it just ends like that? Hang on a second. Okay, I guess okay, it just ends like that. Okay. Now, um now look, she's obviously talking about, men and women when she makes a statement about we never had these conversations about men leading women's teams, and her saying that she was facing obstacles and all this other stuff. Clearly, this now maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but to me, she's insinuating that she didn't get the job because she's a woman.
Hmm.
Do you agree with that?
That's the thing. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case.
Okay, what is your gut feeling though?
I don't care. What I don't care ultimately.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not saying that you should care, but based on what I just read in this article, doesn't it seem like she's making it that she's insinuating she didn't get the job because that she's a female?
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to know. Now, look, you are going to disagree with this also, but I don't want to start crawling with you when it comes to this part. Here's what I'm going to have to say. I believe one of the reasons why they decided not to hire her was because I think, for one, there would have been a huge backlash
From
or
who?
outrage, because they
From
would have
who?
they let me finish. I'll tell you. I think there would have been a semi outrage, because they would have said, "Oh, how come she got the job and not Mark Jackson and not Sam Cassell, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." Right? Two, I believe she didn't get the job is because I think the players, this is my opinion, I think the NBA players would not have submit to her authority because she's a woman. I honestly believe that. No, I guarantee you, nobody is not going to say it. No one is going to say it. I promise you that. Nobody's going to say it, because there would be a huge uproar if somebody would say something like that. But I honestly believe that the NBA players would not have submit to her authority if she became their head coach. Hence, which is why I believe no one in the Spurs organization, at least the players, at least from what I've heard, nobody has really vouched for her.
You
Now
don't know that for a fact.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. But from what I've gathered, Greg
But if,
Popovich
even
has
if
been
even
the
if they,
only
even if
one.
they did, even if they did, what does it matter?
Hmm?
You still think even if they vouch for her, you still think, based on your twisted logic, that no one's gonna play for a woman. That's essentially what you're saying.
I think if somebody, I think if you had guys, like, let's say, for example, if you had guys in the and the San Antonio Spurs said that, wow, she was a great coach, she did an outstanding job, she's a great leader, yeah, yeah, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Somebody in the NBA would
And
listen
you
and
think
give
that
and
that
give
you
her a
think that
chance.
has not happened at all.
Hmm?
You think that has not happened at all.
Well, clearly not, because no one has given her a chance.
All right, just because you're referenced doesn't mean that you're gonna get hired. I heard the same thing with Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing, for the longest time, was lobbying to get a head coaching job. Never got one.
Do you think
Never
that's
got
right?
one. Huh?
Do you think that's right?
No, it is what it is. No one hired him.
Okay, but that doesn't mean references is irrelevant. Like every time when I try to apply for a job, they always want a reference. Reference still matter at the end of the day.
All right, but he had he
Even
had all of it, and he had the reference of being in the league for years, and still didn't
okay.
get a head coaching job.
Well, I mean, I don't know why he hasn't gotten a coaching job.
It
But
is what it is.
I believe. Do I think he should get a chance? Absolutely.
And Becky Hammon shouldn't.
I didn't say that she shouldn't. I'm just giving you reasons why I think she hasn't.
Her record, since she's been assistant, since it matters to you, her record since she's been an assistant coach is 343 and 210.
Let me look at the
Ever since she was an assistant coach, since it matters if they're good or not. Now the last 2 years they've been bad.
no, more than 2 years.
No, it's only been 2 years.
Where
It's
where,
only
where, are
been.
you, where are you looking at?
I'm at Wikipedia.
Hmm.
Only the
Let me-
last 2 years, and right now the
Are
last
you,
2 years
how come I can't see anything?
I'm not sharing it. You want me to share it?
Yeah, share it.
All right.
I mean, you're reading it, like of course share it. And also you have a lot of comments to read.
I'll read them. Don't worry about it. Can you see it?
No.
All right. Let me stop sharing this. Go to something else.
What's
So
up, what's up, Nintendo Gamer? I don't know if I said hi to you, but want to say what's up.
now the year after they won the championship was when she was hired. Okay.
You talk about the year when they beat Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Where can you point? Use your mouse so I could see what you're looking at.
right here.
There, what's that fade? What's that? Oh, okay, all right.
Right here.
Oh crap! It came back again. I don't know what that is, but I can't see it. All right, now I can see it.
You see it?
Go ahead.
The first year they were a 6 seed, but they won 55 games. 55 games. The next year,
They were a 6 seed. Okay.
yeah. But if they were in the Eastern Conference, they would have been the 2nd seed. We know the Western Conference was stacked back then. The
Yeah.
second year with her as an assistant, they won 67 games.
Mm-hmm.
67 games. They were a 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
They were behind the world record winning Golden State Warriors team. And the reason why they got swept by the Golden State Warriors that year was
Because
because
Kawhi.
Kawhi Leonard got hurt.
Yeah, with that stupid move that jackass did
Yeah,
purposely, in my
yeah.
opinion.
Okay, but she was the assistant coach on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the following year they won 61 games.
Mm-hmm.
61 games. They lost in the semifinal to Houston. Wait, no, wait. Oh, wait, no, my bad.
Wait,
The year they won 67 games, they lost to the Thunder.
wait, I thought it was against the Clippers when Chris Paul made that shot over Tim Duncan.
No, that was the year before that. Their first year when they won 55 games.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's when they were the 6th seed against
Mm-hmm.
LA.
All right.
Then the following year they lost in the semifinals to the Thunder. I actually remember that series. That was a great series. And then the year after that, when they won 61 games, that was the year where they got swept by the Warriors. But it was also the year that Kawhi Leonard got hurt by the dirty play by Pachulia.
Yeah,
Right.
he's still a jackass for that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then obviously the year after that, I think this was the one where Kawhi was hurt and he had the whole situation with them.
Yeah.
And then the following year after that, when they after they traded Kawhi, they both of those years they were a 7th seed, but they won 48 games and 47 games, and they lost to the Nuggets in the first round to the game 7. And the last 2 years when they've been bad, and mainly
Was it?
because they
Was
don't,
it? Go ahead. My bad.
and mainly is because they don't have enough talent on that team.
Well, ever since when they traded Kawhi for DeMar DeRozan, they've been downhill ever since.
Pretty much.
They,
But
they've been garbage. And I told you, I don't want to go off track, but just the one quick second, I told you that pretty much exposed the Rosen, because Clippers got better and San Antonio got worse.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But like he's not as good. He was never as good as Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah,
That's all.
but he was the best player in that team, though.
That's fine. But he's not Kawhi Leonard.
Hmm.
He's
Yeah.
not. But here's the thing that because I can't get over this point, right?
Mhm.
You use her record as a strike against her.
The recent
And
years, yes.
the last 2 years.
Hmm.
But the vast majority of the time that she was there, they were winning.
Would you agree they would have had the exact same records if she was there or not?
It doesn't matter. That's why I said it didn't matter. It ultimately didn't matter because she's an assistant coach. The main thing is the head coach. We all know that. Don't matter if it's a man, woman, or a monkey. Like it don't matter who's there. As long as the head coach is the one that's gonna die on the sword eventually. That's why when you using the record on her is dumb.
You keep see that the reason why you're getting pissed off is
Dude, that's the
because you
first thing
keep
that's the first thing you brought up,
because
Steve.
you keep
That's the first thing Steve. That's the first thing you brought up.
you keep saying that I am blaming her. You're missing the whole point. Greg Popovich, you keep saying, oh, it's Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich is not the one looking for another job. That's what you keep missing.
Of
Is
course, he
she's
already
looking
has
for
one,
another
Steve.
job?
He
Okay.
already has one.
So
And she wants to-
so
and
why
every-
why
and
why
most
so
assistants-
why
most-
so
most
why would I
assistants-
why would I put the name on Greg Popovich when he's not looking for a job?
Because he's the head coach.
But he's not looking for a job. She is.
Who cares?
Well, so I mean, who cares? So why watch that? What is the point of bringing Greg Popovich when he already has a head coaching job? Why would I bring him up for?
Hold on, what? Because he's the one in charge.
But he's
the
not
one
looking
in
for a
charge.
job.
It
But
don't
he's not
matter.
looking
It
for a
don't
job.
matter.
She is.
The record is reflected on him. Nobody else. The record is reflective on him. Nobody else.
Are you
But the
purposely
main-
trying
but the
not to
main
understand?
thing- but
Are
the
you
main
purposely
thing-
trying
but
to
the main
miscomprehend?
The main thing is that you said that the record is an indictment on her, and I'm telling you that as an assistant head coach, since records matter, she's how many games over 5? She's 133 games over 500.
But what about the recent years though?
Okay, then but that's all, that ultimately all of this is on Popovich. All of it's on Popovich. But at the end of the day, like
But Popovich.
the record don't mean anything at the end of the day.
Yeah, but Popovich is irrelevant because again, he's not looking for a job. She is. So they have to
look for jobs, look for
Okay.
head coaching jobs. That's why
Right.
they're there.
Okay, but I believe a head coach, a head assistant coach, you have to go by something in order for you to get the job. You have to go by something.
And based on your logic, she can go by this.
Nah,
33 games over 500.
That when she first got into the team, we already know that team was already elite.
Okay.
You already said that.
Steve,
They were that
obviously.
so they was going to have a good record regardless of what assistant head coach they got.
Okay, and I agree with that. But why when I mentioned it, why do you bring up the record? Why did you bring it up?
Why? What do you mean why? I'm talking about the last few seasons that they were bad.
Okay, that's fine, but like ultimately that's on the head coach. That's on the head coach. That's not a reflection on her. That's a reflection on the head coach.
So okay, it's on the reflection on the head coach. So with that being said, what else can you go by?
I mean, honestly, you can only really go by reference. That's
Okay,
it.
and that's what I said, and you said I'm dumb for saying that.
No, that's not the only thing.
Okay, but it's still part of it. Just come on, just give me credit, which I know that's going to hurt your feelings.
I'm not giving you credit.
I know that's going to hurt. I know that's going to hurt your feelings.
No,
I
would give you credit if you said something smart. You said something stupid.
I said something.
You use her record as a reference to attack her, and her record is 133 games above 500. Above 500. That's the record. You can point to the last 2 years all you want. At the end of the day, her record is 133 and 210.
Which you already agreed that record would have remained the same.
It don't fucking matter.
There or not.
Because if it was there regardless, then what's the point of hiring all these other coaches from the Popovich tree? What's the point? If they were going to be great no matter who was there, then why did all these other coaches get hired?
I'm pretty sure.
Why did they all get hired?
I'm pretty sure they all got hired because they thought that they were good. That's why. And
Becky can't make the same claim.
I already told you why I think she didn't get hired. I already told you. Now, answer
that question for me. Do you think that she does not have the same claim as those other coaches?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. But again,
but that's not what you said. That's not what you said earlier on. You went straight to the record.
Yeah, I went straight to the record. Exactly.
And then when I showed you that your thing, what you said was dumb, then what you have to say now?
Yeah. You're trying every look and cranny to make
No, I
to
do. Steve,
to so,
Steve,
so
Steve,
you
Steve,
don't look
Steve,
stupid.
Steve,
But
Steve.
look,
No. Hold on. Let me say
look.
this, and then I'll let you
No,
go.
don't bring up those coaches again because
No, I'm gonna bring. No, it's right here. You see
they
it? It's right there. It's right here. Hold on
yeah
a second.
just exit out because
No. I'm not exiting out nothing. All these guys were assistant coaches under Popovich. Brett Brown was there from 03, 02 to 13. Yeah, all 02 to 13, right? Budenholzer was there from 96 to 13. Borregos had 2 stints there. Monty Williams obviously was only there for a year, 04, 05. He was an intern. No, he does have coaching. I think he had coaching experience before that. So like I'll give this a pass. But he was an intern, and then Borland was the assistant from 13 to 15.
so
Right?
each one of them I think won a championship with them.
To my knowledge, I think so. Let me look this up again. Because remember, because
Now,
they won.
if I'm right about that, don't you think that gave him leverage?
No, not really.
Winning a championship doesn't
I mean,
give
I
you
think
leverage.
it definitely helps, but
It
I don't
helps your
think.
resume for sure.
But yeah, but it does. It shouldn't be the only thing. It
A
shouldn't be the main
championship,
thing.
the
No,
ultimate goal,
it shouldn't be the main thing. It
the
shouldn't be
ultimate
when it comes
goal.
to a coaching hire. No, it shouldn't be the main thing.
Hmm.
At least in my opinion, it shouldn't be the main thing.
The reason why I think it is because if you had to make a decision between one coach and the other one won a championship, I think that person has more leverage. Wouldn't you say?
It depends on the candidates. It depends on the candidates. But like you have coaches who are hired all the time who may not be as like look at okay, let's for example,
Mm-hmm.
look at what's that dude's name? The one that LeBron James got fired. What's his name?
Oh,
Um
oh crap.
Blatt. Like I forgot. I don't know his first name.
David, not David.
David Blatt.
David Blatt. Yeah, David
David
Blatt.
Blatt. I mean, he won championships in Europe and stuff like that, but he wasn't he never had an NBA coaching job. He never had an NBA coaching job, right? And I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know. I think Mark Jackson was already out by that time, but you tell me that he's more qualified than Mark Jackson. I would say no for an
I,
NBA job. No.
I would say no, but that team was in first place regardless.
Okay, that's fine because and it didn't matter who was the coach.
Yeah,
Frankly, it did not matter.
yeah. Same thing with
But
Golden
he, but he
State.
got
Yeah.
he got the job, and no one complained. I mean, I didn't hear you complain.
When he got the job,
Yeah.
I was just a little shocked.
I mean, that's fine, but you didn't complain.
No, I was shocked. I'm like,
You didn't bring up Mark Jackson and all the other coaches that should have been coaches. You didn't
oh,
make you didn't.
when people were yelling and going all crazy saying that Mark Jackson should have gotten the job. I was like, what, I think he did get screwed over because when he was with the Golden State team, he that team, he preached defense with that team like bro, like it was you drinking water. Like he made it that important. He made that really, really, really important, But I think he was a very good coach. But obviously, they saw something with Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr was just more qualified, at least for that particular
Okay,
squad.
but I'm talking about in the case of Becky Hammon. I'm talking about her. I'm not talking about anybody else. If she gets hired, are you gonna hear people say, "Oh, what about Mark Jackson? What about this? What about that?"
I think so.
All right, then why didn't they do that with Blatt?
I think they did.
I don't think they did. I didn't hear it. I mean,
think they did.
and would you have done it? I don't think you already said you would not have done it.
No, I think they did. I think they complained.
What
I
about
know.
you? What about you?
I think
What about
Stephen A.
you?
did the same thing.
What about you? What about you?
I mean, what?
Would you have complained?
That Mark Jackson didn't get the job?
Yeah, over
Yeah.
David Blatt.
Yeah.
Because you didn't do it when it happened.
No,
You didn't do it when it happened.
I agree with everybody that other people got screwed over.
But you didn't complain. You didn't complain.
No, I just agreed with everyone.
No, you didn't complain though.
I agreed.
But you didn't complain.
I agreed.
But you didn't complain. If Becky Hammon gets hired tomorrow, would you complain?
Over Mark Jackson?
It doesn't matter.
Else?
If she got hired.
If she got hired over everybody else, yeah, that'll be that. I think yeah, I would be like, well, I agree that I would agree with the outrage.
Then why? Because she's a woman?
No, because if because other people like Mark Jackson should have got a head coaching job a long time ago.
Okay, but
He,
but what about Steve Nash?
in my personal opinion, him and Sam Cassell should be first in line right now.
Why Sam Cassell?
And those guys have
Why
been
Sam
screwed
Cassell?
over because that dude been the head coach like basically forever.
He's been an assistant coach forever.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Isn't that what I said?
No, I think you said head coach, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
But like,
yeah, that's unfair.
But that's just how it is. Life is unfair, and sometimes life is unfair. Life sometimes is unfair. It is what it is.
Now you brought up Steve Nash again, but again, I already
Okay,
said
that's fine. But that's fine. But just because, but you think that if they said, "Oh, we want to hire Mark Jackson instead," you think Kevin Durant would be upset about that?
Absolutely.
Really?
I think he would be highly upset because that's not who he wanted.
I don't honestly. I think I don't see him as that way. I don't see him that way.
I see him that way because remember, I don't know if you remember, Kobe Bryant wasn't happy when they brought Mike Brown to LA.
Yeah, he got him fired. Yeah, we know that.
Okay,
we know that. But he got hired though. Mike Brown got hired though.
And but you saw what happened. He got fired like in like 2-3 games.
Yeah, but he got hired though. But he did get hired.
Oh my gosh. That was a screw up right there.
But with that said, like I don't like to me like here's what I was gonna say before you derailed the whole thing. I was gonna say, yeah, you derailed the whole thing. Okay. But I was gonna ask you, do you think NBA players would play for a woman? And personally, I think they would, especially if it's a young team like the Spurs. If it's a team that's older, I don't know. I don't know if they would. I don't know
why. Why not?
I don't know. I feel like younger kids are more understanding of the dynamic between, I feel like younger kids in general are more understanding. They're not, they're not fed in to this bullshit that woman can't do a man's job. Which I know you feed into that bullshit all the time. But I think they can deal with having a female be their head coach.
The reason why I don't think so is because you're still inside a basketball culture where you're full of
which is full of men and women in it.
Yeah, but
not basketball culture is not an exclusive thing to a man. It's not
a basketball coach.
Basketball culture. It's not a male thing.
I'm talking about the culture within the NBA. Okay. Whether it's in the NBA, whether it's in the NFL or the NHL, you know what I'm saying? Like obviously the majority of all the players obviously are men, and when it comes to men, when it's a group of men, the culture is not. Let me make this point. When you are in a particular job, like for example, when me working in the AC division. Nothing but men. When you are in a job such as obviously basketball, football, engineering, at least most engineering, plumbing, all that other stuff, majority of them are men. The culture is not the same when there's a diversity of men and women in a particular job. It's not. It's never. The culture is always a more aggressive type of culture. When it's just guys and no women, there's no female present.
Let me ask you a question. Why is it okay for men to coach women's sports and not the reverse?
Why is it okay for men to coach women's sports?
Yeah.
I honestly, I think the reason why men are coaching and the female sports is because they look at men as more of a I don't want to get too political with this. But
no, you might as well. We're in deep waters already, so you might as well.
Okay, it's similar to how teachers, where it's shown like stats wise that kids are more submissive to male teachers than females, because obviously with the men not necessarily their size, but like their demeanor, it's just more they have a more. It's easier to submit to their authority for the simple fact that they're men. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to even when it comes to parenting. Like when it comes to parenting, uh you know how that old saying when the kid asks their mom for something, the mom will always say, oh, go ask your dad,
Hmm.
or I'm gonna go and tell dad, or
Hmm.
dad's gonna be like, you automatically have that more respect factor for for your father. Not that your mom is not important, obviously your mom is important, but you have that fearness, to some degree. I
Hmm.
think that also reflects when it comes to sports as well. Not just as far as being a father or being a male teacher, but I think that also goes to coaching as well.
So you don't think a woman can coach a men's sport?
No, 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 no. Oh, I don't. I'm not saying that. I'm just answering your question to why I
Hmm.
believe it's easier for a male. Why males are head coaches in the WNBA, and
Okay.
why it's
Okay.
easier for them
Okay.
to submit to
Okay.
to a man.
I understand,
Do you
but
kind of understand what I'm
ultimately,
saying?
yeah, I get what you're saying. But
Okay.
ultimately, you do believe that a woman can coach a men's sport.
Yes. Yes. The only problem is I just don't think the men will be as submissive to oppose if it was a male coach.
Maybe, but like we've seen plenty of examples over the years of NBA players acting up, regardless. You know what I mean? And it's
Hmm.
not a guarantee that it's not a guarantee. It depends on ultimately it depends on the player
Yeah, yeah.
or players. I get that. So ultimately, look, to me, I don't know if what you're saying is true or not. I'm not gonna call her a liar, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like there are players who don't get, there are guys who and girls who don't get head coaching jobs for whatever reason. I think the reason why Mark Jackson doesn't get coaching job because I think a lot of people think that he's not that good of a coach, despite him coaching Steph and Clay to be, and he foresaw them being great. He
I,
was the
I
first
think
one.
I think the reason why he hasn't got a coaching job is because of his religion, because of he preaches Christianity a lot. During his coaching, and a lot of I heard a lot of people said that he was constantly focusing more at with his church than actually his coaching career.
I mean,
I think I
I
think
think
that's
I
what it
heard
is.
something. I think I heard something like that. But the conveying thought was that a lot of people didn't think he was that great of a head coach. This is from what I heard. But
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, but there are guys who just don't like. I look for example, like Fisdale, right? The guy who used to coach. I think he used to coach the what team did he used to coach? I know he used to coach the Knicks. He was
Hmm.
assistant coach down here for the longest time,
Yeah.
right? He was right hand man to Eric Spoelstra, and for years, he was like the hot, like the next assistant head coach to get hired, right?
Hmm.
He gets hired. He gets put to the Knicks. They're a garbage organization. He gets fired, right? And then I think he went to Memphis, and only because he had an issue with Mark Gasol was why he got fired.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I
Because Mark Gasol and him didn't see eye to eye, and obviously the organization is always going to pick the player over the coach, especially if you're not winning especially if you're not a championship winning coach, they're going to pick the player.
Yeah, but Mark was Mark Gasol even at that time, was he even an elite player?
I mean, I think he was still good, but I don't think I would have gotten rid of the coach because of him.
Yeah, not because of him.
Yeah. All right. Let me
Wow.
read the comment because we got completely off track.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
When I
It
mean
it,
me,
it, it,
when I
cal- it
mean
calmed
me,
down now. So.
it mean me. I got caught off track. So Malta said, not Malta. Like, okay, first off, let me read back up.
Hmm.
All right. So he did. He left. He said he left for 5 minutes. He wanted to know what we were pretty much just winding up the last topic and going into this, right? So he called Greg Popovich the GOAT head coach.
I agree.
Hmm. And then obviously he told us that we gotta take turns when I was yelling at you. He said Steve Kerr is the luckiest coach,
Yeah, you do. That's funny. Yeah.
but he,
Um.
he said that Steve Kerr is the luckiest the luckiest coach.
Well, here's the thing, Malta. The fact that there was a huge, drastic change of how the team was played, and how much better Steph Curry has gotten ever since he gotten there. You could say it was luck, but I do believe he was a huge part of of why they succeeded, so well. At least at the time. You don't
Okay,
think
so
so?
I guess so. I do think that he's a better coach than Mark Jackson, but
Yes.
Nintendo Gamer said hi. Obviously, he said that he's gonna make a top overrated games list if I haven't already. Okay, I'll look forward to that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Oh man, that sounds good. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
So, and he asked, Virtua Fighter coming out soon? Not for a long time. Not for a long time.
Yeah, don't hold your
So yeah,
breath for that game.
yeah. So pretty much we were talking about Becky Hammon, and her reasoning for why she for Malta who's asking we were talking about Becky Hammon and why she pretty much chose the Aces job over staying as an assistant coach. No, me personally, I just think that if you want to be a head coach, like if you're an assistant coach, you're there, you got the job because you want to be a head coach. Like ultimately, that's what you want to do. So if she can do that with the Aces, I mean, let her do it with the Aces. Like like I think it doesn't matter to me. The thing that like again, let me reiterate this and then we can move on. The only thing that really pissed me off about what you said was trying to bring up the record while she was there, saying that somehow you keep saying that you're not that not you didn't mean it that way,
Hmm.
but bringing up her record as an indictment on her when at the end, like, and you also while simultaneously saying that it doesn't matter who's there, they're gonna win those games. Those two things don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me. And also doesn't make sense that people can excuse players like coaches getting hired in one area, and then when she gets hired, then everybody want to keep for Mark Jackson and all these other people who don't get a head coaching job. Like to me, I just think that if you're coaching, right? If you're coaching, if you have something to bring to the table, you're being hired. You're being hired as assistant coach for a reason, right? You're being hired for a reason because you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
At the very least, you know what you're doing, and I don't think she should be exempt from that. If Greg Popovich is willing to hire you, like if he was just doing it as a woke move, he would have hired a whole bunch of women, but he didn't do that. He hired
Hmm.
her. He hired her. And at the end of the day, like, can you just take any assistant and win no matter what? Yeah, sure, no shit. Because at the end of the day, it's the players who win the game, not the coaches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least for the most part. Like, obviously, there's some coaches that are really good. There's some coaches that are really bad. But a lot of the coaches are the same. They're only aided by how good their players are.
Hmm.
I just don't want the whole situation to be, oh, she's a woman so she got this and that, or she's a woman so she didn't get this and that. I don't want that to be the argument. Like it just, to me it's a sexist argument to make. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a sexist argument to make.
Yeah. But unfortunately, for me, my position is I honestly believe you players, the NBA players, I don't think they would submit to her authority if she actually had a coaching job.
All right. So
I,
Moto said, what did she say? She essentially said that that the Las Vegas Aces saw her as a head coach, and the other candidate that she applied for did not. That's essentially what she was saying. And like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. Like like you said, there's tons of guys who get passed over because, like you said, it's a competitive field where you have a lot of guys who want the same thing that you have. They want the
yeah.
same thing that you have, and sometimes you're just not gonna get the opportunity. So, in order to prove that, you do have to go somewhere else, or you might have to do like either coach at another level, either coach in college or coach, obviously WNBA. Like just like just go out there and if you want a head coach, get a head coaching job. That's it. That's it.
I mean, there's a lot of guys like Jeff Van Gundy is another one. Like there's a lot of guys who I think who are more than qualified, to be coaches right now. They just don't have, they just not, no one wants to hire them as coaches.
Yeah,
And
but
and
I don't think that it should be, oh, everyone, when if she gets hired as a head coach, everyone should just be like, oh, how did she get a head coaching job? How come this guy, and when other
well,
guys,
I would have agreed with you if they never done it before, but they've done that so many times already over the years that it would be nothing new if they continue on.
I feel like it was. I feel like I would have gotten the same response that you did. That you said, like, oh, it was a woke move.
You
That's what you would not have gotten if it was a man that got hired to the same job. That's the difference.
Yeah, but well, majority everyone, all the head coaching jobs has been males already. Has
All right,
they,
that's
so
fine.
I don't
Good.
understand.
That's fine. But she didn't get hired because it's a woke move. It's not. It's not that at all. It's not that at all.
No, but she okay, yeah, I get, my bad. I'm just confused. But she didn't get hired as a head coaching
No, no,
as a
no,
head
no, no.
coach.
I'm talking about as an assistant coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She
Okay.
didn't get hired. She didn't get hired because of that.
Yeah, but but I'm telling you, if she had gotten hired, they would have used the whole Mark Jackson, Van Gundy, Sam
That's fine.
Cassell
That's
argument.
perfectly
They
fine.
would have used it.
But there are lots of guys. There are lots of guys who get those jobs also who don't have the resume that those guys have, and those guys would be just quiet. Would be quiet. They're not gonna have the same objection to them being hired as a coach as they would to her.
As opposed to her.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard all the how people were so irate when Steve Nash got the job. People were upset.
Yeah, they were upset. They
Yeah.
were upset because, but the thing is that how many of those people who, if Becky Hammon got hired, would those same people be upset?
Yes.
No, I think the people who will be upset, people like you, people with your same political ideology, would be the one that would be really upset. Those are the ones that would be really upset.
So the people that were upset that Steve Nash got the job, or that Lou
No, no, no,
Walton,
no, 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 no. Those are different people. Those are different people.
they would be perfectly fine with it.
No, like they would use the reason why people were upset with Steve Nash got hired because he had no coaching experience at all.
Correct.
He had none, right? But like but when it came to David Blatt has no coaching experience either. At least not NBA experience. But he got hired and no one said anything.
Well,
No
he
one said a peep.
the team became number one because the team was already good. They would have been number one regardless of who was the
Yeah,
coach.
but my point is that if he got hired, if they just hired some Joe Smo off the street, not off the street, but like they just hired any other coach that's not a female, no one's gonna say anything at the end
Yeah,
of the
but
day.
well, no. Remember, you even said it. You said he won coaches, over. I mean, championships overseas already.
I mean that's
So
fine, but that's not the same.
yeah, but they would have already used that as a good resume. I don't think they would use that against him just because he was in the NBA. Because you have to remember, I don't think college basketball and the NBA is the same either.
No, not the same, but that didn't stop They didn't stop coaches from they didn't stop owners from hiring college coaches.
Yeah, that's true. But if you have been winning in the college level, I think that improves your resume and it gives you leverage of getting the job.
Winning in general will improve your resume. Absolutely, I agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So, but that includes overseas.
Uh, it shouldn't, but it can. It can absolutely can. But at the end of the day, like when it comes to Becky, she has the resume to be an NBA coach. She does.
Hmm.
But there's so many other people that do, and they don't get head coaching jobs. And unfortunately, she falls into that category.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. All right. So,
All right, so that's it. Malta said if I'm not in class, I'll join y'all on Thursday. All right, that's cool. That's cool.
all right, Malta. I appreciate that.
That's cool. All right. Is that okay? So Becky Hammond, that's it. So I gotta
Mhm.
calm down because I was really upset. I was really upset.
No. Yeah, it's good for the podcast, I guess.
Okay.
Man.
Last topic, and then we can get out of here. Is Antonio Brown. Now we had talked about him previously when he faked the vaccination card, right?
Yes.
Now, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna share this, and then I'm going to try to find the video of him. Let me see if they have it embedded in here in the article. 'Cause I'm not going to read the article. The article is there. Okay, there we go. Because the article is just here for cause and effect.
Okay.
This is him
Oh,
literally
this,
just
is this Twitter?
yeah
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay. All right, let me zoom my thing up because I thought you watch. I thought you was gonna post it on YouTube. Okay. All right, full screen.
This is him literally leaving the field.
Yes.
This is him leaving. Let me see if there's one where he's like removing everything. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find it. Cause it's fascinating. The video's fascinating.
Yeah.
Let me go back. And for those of you, okay, let me explain what happened. Right. So pretty much, Antonio Brown, he was back from his suspension cat slash injury, and they were playing the Jets. I hate to I hate to bring this up, but in the beginning of the third quarter, where the Jets were actually winning, when the Jets were actually winning, which is I know you're not used to that, Steve,
Yeah,
but they were actually winning.
you're tempting me to show you the talk about the Dolphins right now because
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
you
I,
have
I
you
had I had no right to talk. I had no right to talk.
yeah because I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to squeeze a little of the Jets in when you don't have to bring them up. You don't.
No, but it is part of the story
You're trying
though.
to infiltrate
It is.
just a little. So I know what you're trying to do.
No, it is part of the story though. They were losing to the Jets in the third quarter, and something happened between him and Coach Bruce Arians, who I have a lot to say about him too. I have a lot to say about that guy,
About who?
but Bruce Arians, the head
Oh,
coach.
okay.
But they had a conversation. Apparently, it didn't go well because he started undressing. He took off his gear. He ran off. Right. He left. He bounced. He quit. Bounced. Right. Is this an
Yeah.
ad? That's an
I
ad.
think it is.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to end. So like he just completely leaves. It's completely crazy what happened.
Yes.
And here's the thing. No, that's not the video. Here's the thing, right? I listen. And the thing that I was upset about when we talked about it before is that I didn't mention the other stuff that he did prior to pretty much him going to Tampa Bay. This guy and listen, it's obvious this dude is dealing with something. He's not right mentally. That's obvious.
So you think he has a mental health problem?
Yes,
Okay.
easily. Because this is not normal. What he's doing right now is not normal. His behavior in general is not normal. Right? And the thing is that a lot of people trace what happened. Like there was one game, there was a playoff game a long time ago. He was playing Cincinnati, right? And in Cincinnati, he took a massive hit to the
I
head.
I actually wanted to play that video.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you have it, you can play. You can have.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
have
I
it, you
have.
can play it.
Yeah, I have it. Let me
Like
share it.
a lot of people look to that point in time as to where everything changed for him as far as as far as his attitude and mentality goes.
Yeah, people was mentioning that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not going to dismiss it as it not being the case.
Can
It
you see
could
it?
definitely be. Yeah. Well, hold on.
Right.
Let me look at it. This is what he did. This is him just leaving the
Oh.
field.
You playing yours right now? Okay. Let
Yeah,
me go
yeah.
back
And
to
then
yours.
then we yeah, and then yeah. So let me end this. And then go. You can play your thing. You can play your thing. Let me
All
stop
right.
sharing mine.
I don't want to play. I don't want to put the sound on because
Yeah, yeah.
even though there's commentary between you and me, I think we'll still probably get copyrighted. So
So people point to that play as when everything changed for him mentally. He got he
after
got
that hit,
yeah he
yeah,
got rocked. And I don't know. I don't know, but I know that he's mentally not there. He's mentally not there.
mm-hmm.
With that said, this is a guy who has constant everything is always something with that guy. Is always something with him. And people like that cannot be trusted.
Right.
Period. People like that can't be trusted. That's why when I said this is like what I said, I would have cut him after the vaccination thing. This is the reason why. This is the reason why, because there's always something going on with him.
Here it is. Here it is. Right here. He didn't catch it, and bam!
Yeah,
I'm surprised that his neck didn't get broken into.
exactly. I'm surprised too. I remember watching that game. 'Cause remember, these two teams that was a huge rivalry that year.
Yes.
That was a huge rivalry that year. I know Perfect had other
Oh my
injuries.
gosh! Like
Like,
going at full speed, and
yeah.
and I don't know how heavy Vertic is.
Mhm.
I don't know how heavy he is, but bro, like going at that full speed and lean with your shoulder, and he hit the side of the head. My gosh, man,
Yeah,
that's freaking brutal.
he got rocked. He got
That,
rocked.
that,
That's
now,
absolutely dirty play.
yeah, now look, everyone is constantly saying that he got what do you call it
CTE.
CTE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay. Now, I don't know fully, what that is. I know it's something that it's like, um, it's like kind of like something that constantly repeated into your head, like trauma or
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Yeah,
I
like for
mean,
example, like soldiers will have CTE
yeah,
like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, but again, is always, and that's why I said they should have cut him, because you can't trust people like him, regardless of what issues he's dealing with. And I'm sure he's dealing
just
with
one more
his
time, and then
issues.
I'm gonna get off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know for a fact that he's dealing with something mental.
yeah,
Clearly, it's something mental. But you can't trust people like him. You can't, because it's always one episode after the other with him. And unfortunately, he constantly, like, and again with the same thing with this guy over and over again. He constantly costing himself money. Okay, he was a couple catches away. He was a couple play. He was literally a game away from getting a whole bunch of incentives, financial incentives.
yeah. He needed like what, like a couple more catches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just needed a couple more catches, and he would have gotten like over like what 300, 300.
300,000.
Yeah, over that.
And I know he had a couple touchdowns away from getting another big payday. Like he had, and he just threw it all away. I don't know what happened. Now now there's a report, and I know you mentioned this too, that said that he was hurt, and that he said that he told Bruce Arians that he couldn't get back in the game.
Yes. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I tagged you that on Twitter,
Mhm.
and for me, if he was really hurt, and he really couldn't play onto the field anymore, like I said in the tweet, that changes everything. If it
It doesn't for me, but go ahead.
if it's if what he's saying is true, and the coach tells you, okay, then just leave or get out of here or you dismissed, whatever it is that he said. If that what happened, precisely what happened, then that changes everything for me. And let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
You've said it, yourself constantly, that if you are hurt and if you are not able to play, then don't play. You always said, whether if it's mental health or your physical health,
Mm-hmm.
if you are unable to play, then you shouldn't play. And if he chose that he is no longer able to play anymore, that he should have not gotten kicking out, from his head coach. His head coach should have never told him to leave. He should have been more sympathetic that, okay, he's not able to play anymore because he's hurt. And if the coach tells you, okay, leave, and he left, then that's not an indictment on Antonio Brown. How why would you blame Antonio Brown if your coach told you to leave?
Because I don't know if that happened. I don't know if that happened, and I'm not gonna sit there and act like I trust Bruce Arians, but I can't trust Antonio Brown. I can't, because he has a reputation of doing this already. He did it in Pittsburgh. He did it in Oakland, and he would have done it in New England also if he had more time. He's someone who has this weird fascination with drama. He has a weird fascination with drama.
I mean, now remember, what you're saying is not wrong. What you're saying is true. But if you are, I want to say this just to get out the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a very talented player or a very elite, someone who is elite, you're going to get second chances no matter how many mistakes you've done.
I mean, he had more than a second chance. He had like 4 chances.
Okay, that's fine. But
Maybe
I
5
don't. Okay,
chances technically.
okay, but look at guys like not just Antonio Brown, but like Jeff Hardy, like Greg Hardy. I mean Greg Hardy. Look at guys like what John Jones has been going through. Look Conor McGregor, freaking attacking buses and like you've
No, I
had
agree. I agree.
you
100% agree with you there. I agree.
yeah you've had guys across the board in any sport. If you are an elite player, an elite fighter, you basically get away with just about anything, and you are going to get multiple chances because
And
you are gold mine. Go ahead.
and the reason why I'm going after Bruce Arians because he's the same guy when and look, we all know why he was there. He was there because of Tom Brady. Tom Brady vouched for him. He's there because of Tom Brady. I get it.
Exactly. Yes.
You said that he gets one chance. If he f's up, he's gone. Then thankfully, Antonio Brown was on his best behavior on the field. Probably still not paying people off of it, but on the field, he was fine. He did a job, and they won the Super Bowl. Everything was fine. But in my opinion, the minute that he did the whole fake vaccination card thing, I would have got rid of him. But what did Bruce Arians did? Because he had a couple wide receivers who were hurt. He was like, instead of cutting him, what he should have done, he decided, you know what, I'm gonna give him another chance because I need him. And when he when you don't need him, when you can't use him anymore, that's when you decide to kick him out.
Wait. Hold on. They you saying that they didn't need him anymore because they were
No, because when he couldn't use him anymore, that's when he kicked him out.
because he was hurt.
I don't know. Look, he was running down the field. He's hopping and skipping half naked. He didn't look hurt to me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see. The only hobbling he was doing was the hip hopping that he was doing on the end zone.
Well, I did hear that there was speculation that because he was on the field and he knew about the incentives and he basically got upset because of that. Now that again, that's just speculation, 100%
I mean,
speculation.
it don't make no sense because he's gonna make more money because of it. So that don't make no sense.
No, but
He
remember,
was,
he wasn't on the field though. He was on the sideline.
yeah, but he could have gotten those incentives if he had displayed.
But that's the problem. He wasn't playing.
I mean, Bruce Arians told him to get in.
Yeah.
He told him to get in.
He told him to get in eventually.
I mean, if you like I said before, like he like if it was up to me, he would have been going after the vaccination thing.
No,
He would have been going after that.
the reason why I don't like the whole vaccination thing is because so many people have been guilty of that. So many people have been guilty of saying that they took the vaccine and they did not, or playing semantics, or just straight out not
No,
giving out the whole truth. Like
one of three people did that.
a
Not
lot of,
everyone did that.
yeah, but I'm just saying people have done it. People
I
have
don't
done
care.
it, and I don't think him saying that really like it didn't cost him games.
No, but it did because he wasn't on. Well, he was hurt, but like he got suspended.
Yeah, but he was
And
already hurt anyway.
why would someone do something like that? Why?
Dude,
The only way you can do that, the only way you would do that is if you're an egotistical idiot, and that's what he is.
what you're technically saying, he's a bad dude.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he has mental health issues, but I also think he's not someone you can trust. He's not someone you can trust. He's not. And Bruce Arians got egg thrown in his face, and then he tried to be a little bit more diplomatic today, saying that he hoped that Antonio Brown gets help and all the other shit. No, man, like fuck you, dude. Like you kept him there when you had the chance to get rid of him. All this bullshit. Oh well, this and that, and giving people second chances and shit like that. No, you didn't believe in that bullshit. You wanted him to stay there because you needed him to catch footballs for you. And when he didn't catch footballs for you, you kicked him out.
Well, you have to remember this guy was, well, not anymore, but this guy was on the verge of being in the Hall of Fame. In my opinion.
He was,
and he obviously ruined that. He's not gonna be in Hall of Fame anymore, especially after something like this. And secondly, to your point, um after once they didn't really have anybody. Like they had a lot of guys who were injured. Like
Mhm.
who else like to me they're not going to the Super Bowl this year. I mean, they I know what you're saying about their coach, but I don't think he had a choice. I don't think he had a choice.
In my opinion, you always have a choice.
No, he
And
didn't he didn't have a choice. Like that dude is an elite wide receiver, and I don't think he wanted to take the risk of not having him play for the team and diminish the chances of them winning another Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
in my opinion, he had a choice. Like you know who he is. You know who he is. You know who he is. His resume is all over the place. Not just the resume on the field, but the bullshit they try to pull off of it. This is not the first time he quit a team. He quit in Pittsburgh also.
Yes.
He quit in Pittsburgh,
Do you
right?
remember why? I forgot why.
Um
Damn, I can't remember why.
yeah, I don't remember either, but it's some dispute he had with either Tomlin. I think it had something to do with Tomlin. But he quit on that team. He essentially quit on the Raiders. They gave him money. They gave him a contract. I think it was an incentive laden contract. And from day one, he caused issues over there. From day one, you know who he is, and you decided, I need him to catch footballs for me, so I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. You commit a crime, but I'll let it slide because I need you to catch footballs for me.
Yes.
To me,
That's
that's not
essentially
that
what
that
happened.
that to me that's not leadership. That's just someone trying. And I get it. You're trying to protect yourself. That's fine. But you shouldn't get upset when a guy who has a history of screwing people over screwed you over.
You got you,
Ultimately, you got what you deserved.
yeah, but but you have to remember since because Tom Brady vouched for him and he basically did everything he could, to make sure that Antonio Brown, remained, with the team. It's like, I think Bruce Arians, hands were somewhat tied. I mean, you have a guy who you going to replace him with. You had, Tom Brady who wanted him there, so it was kind of like,
I mean, bringing him in, I don't mind. I don't mind them bringing him in, but you know who he is. You know who this guy is. And I guess it's one thing if he's there for a year and nothing really happened outside of it, I can understand giving him a second chance. If it was something minor, to me the vaccination card thing is not minor. That's a major thing. You're trying to skirt protocol just because you didn't want to wear a mask, and you were willing to commit a crime in order to do it. To me, that shows stupidity. That shows a level of stupidity that I can't have in my organization.
so you think he should be held accountable too?
Who?
The coach.
No, I mean he already got his punishment. He got his punishment. He got his punishment. You lose a player that you needed because you didn't have the balls to cut him after he committed a crime.
Mm-hmm.
So he got what he, as far as I'm concerned, Bruce Arians got what he deserved. He got what he deserved. You trusted a guy who can't be trusted, and you got burned.
Yeah.
If you're gonna play with fire, and if you get burned, I can't feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Especially if you're old enough to know that you can't play with fire and not get hurt.
To me, I think at this point, um, Antonio Brown definitely needs to get some type of help, some type
He
of
does. He
therapy,
definitely needs that. He definitely needs help.
um, counseling, whatever it is that he needs.
He's
I
not.
don't think
I don't think he's gonna get it, but he needs help.
if he gets it and he shows contrition and he very apologetic, should he get another chance in the NFL?
Uh, Man, I think if he can guarantee his health and safety, yes. But like you said, we talked about the perfect hit. I mean, is it really safe to go back to the place where that might have caused all your issues in the first place?
Hmm. I think somebody's going to give him another chance regardless. He's too much of a hot of a talent to be ignored. I honestly believe that somebody is going to sign him. But from what I've heard, the Bucks hasn't cut him yet.
No, they haven't. They haven't. I think they're just trying to. to find the ways to make it to where, because like if Antonio Brown telling the truth and Bruce Arians tried to play him while he's hurt, then he's gonna get in trouble for that. He could potentially get in trouble for that.
And Tony Brown cannot get in trouble for that.
No. I'm talking about Bruce Arians. I'm talking about
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
he could get in trouble for that.
Yes,
So I think that's why. I think that's why they haven't cut him yet. I think they're trying to get all the legal mumbo jumbo out the way.
yes. I
You know what I'm
think
saying?
that's yeah. I think yeah. I honestly believe that if he does eventually get cut, that somebody's going to sign it, and it's going to be a team that's in the playoffs. It's going to be a team that's in the playoffs that's going to
Well,
sign him.
I don't know. Well, I mean, the whole COVID thing going on, so that could happen. You know, you never know. Me, I think it would be a mistake because clearly the one thing that he needs help right now. He needs help. He doesn't need to be playing football. He needs help. And I'm telling you, man, I just don't. I don't see it. I
So
really don't see it.
you think him walking off like okay? I need to ask you this: do you honestly believe him just walking off? In the middle of the game, really insinuates that he has a problem just because he quit.
No, I think what's insinuates him having a problem is him taking off his gear and going into basically his not underwear, but doing it the way that he did. He's jumping up and he's doing jumping jacks in the end zone, putting the peace sign. You don't think that's behavior of someone that's normal?
Okay, let me answer this.
If someone did that, if someone randomly did that in the football field, they would get arrested. They would
You know,
get tackled and arrested.
this is going to be somewhat silly.
Hmm.
I'm not going to try to crawl or anything like that. No arguments here. But I'm just trying to ask you: is this the same thing? When NBA players do that and they purposely get themselves ejected and throw the jersey into the stands, you
Hmm.
don't classify that as being the same thing?
I mean, he's probably upset, but remember, like he got ejected, and I think they do get fined for that. But he got ejected. He's not doing that. He's not doing that like this out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
He got ejected.
But you
He's
but
very upset.
you've seen guys purposely get themselves ejected by getting multiple technicals back to back, or they purposely commit a flagrant foul to get themselves ejected, and then they throw their
Yeah,
jersey. So you've seen that happen in the NBA.
yeah,
But
but that's not what happened here.
yeah, but to say that he got rid of his jerseys, and look, people was using that all over Twitter. Oh, he took off his jersey, and I'm like,
Because
well, where's the same energy with the NBA?
but have you seen
Or,
an NBA? Have you seen an NFL player do it like that?
wait, you said you mean NBA? Yeah,
No,
yeah.
NFL. Pretty much quit on his team at halftime. Pretty much, at halftime. I know
Didn't
Vontae Davis. I know there was Devontae Davis did that as well.
I think didn't Des Bryant do that too when they were trying to tell him to go back into the game and he wouldn't go back in the game?
Des
I think
Bryant.
I think Des Bryant did it also.
I don't think he did it like that.
Well, no, he didn't take off his gear, but he just wouldn't go back in the game, and then he just walked off and into the locker room. I'm gonna have to double check,
Yeah.
but I think Des Bryant did something similar to that. Not taking off his gear,
I
but
mean,
just
like
basically
like I
quit.
said, it's one thing to just walk out and walk out like and quit because the guys have quit before, but to do it the way that he did
Mm-hmm.
with the theatrics, like that's someone that's not normal. Like there's something that's not normal. Him just walking like and it's the jumping jacks and it's the peace sign to the fans. Like that's not normal, man.
Yeah, I think the peace sign was just the last straw. Him just basically saying that he quits. He basically no longer wants to partake with the Bucks anymore. That's what that was. Either he was insinuating that he was quitting, or it was just an indication that he was just done for the day. Just for that day. Like I'm out. I'm out of here. So it's either one. It's either one of the two.
I don't know, man. I just at the end of the day, like Bruce Arians and the Buccaneers, they got what they deserved. They got what they deserved. You put trust in the guy who can't be trusted, and
Well,
you got burnt.
why can't you blame Tom Brady also?
No, I mean, look, like you, if you want to blame Tom Brady, that's fine. But like Tom Brady, he got him the job in the first place. He got him the job in the first place,
Yeah.
and in turn they won a championship. But at the end of the day,
Well, you see, that's the problem. I mean, they already won a championship with him coming here. So when you say he got what he deserves, I mean, they're the champs right now until another winner comes up.
that's fine. But they got what they deserve because they need him. They need him because they have guys who are hurt. They need him, and in my opinion, you can't put your trust on people who can't be trusted. Like the only reason why he was there because of Tom Brady, so that's why I'm not going to blame Tom Brady. But everyone else who had a chance to discipline him for the bullshit that he did with the vaccination card didn't do it. Like anyone in that organization, Tom Brady can't fire players.
Yeah.
He can suggest hiring guys, but he can't fire nobody.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians can.
Mm-hmm.
Their GM can. The owner can, and none of them did.
Yeah.
And when he turned out to be who everyone else thought he was, they got bit in the ass. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah, they definitely got bit in the ass, and I think, man, this is going to cause like so much distractions and drama. I'm like so looking forward to see what's going to happen with the Bucks from here on in, and I think at this point, if they're not going to cut him now after that, they might as well just keep him in the roster. They might as well
I think they're just. I think right now. I think they're just trying to see what they can do legally to make sure if they do, because you cannot bring him back after this. You can't.
You can't.
After he quit on the team. He quit on the team. He quit on the team.
I want to know the specifics though. If he did that because he was hurt and the coach is trying to force him to go back in, then I'm on the side of AB when it comes to that. If that's what happened, but it sounds like if that happened, you still think he's in the wrong anyway.
Yeah, because it's always something with him. I'm telling you, you can't trust people like him. You can't.
I agree.
You can't. And if you're just gonna bring him back, then you're just enabling his behavior once again. And when he does something even worse, let's say if it's not just the 16th game of the season, what if it's a playoff game? What if it's the Super Bowl? And he pulls some BS where he doesn't want to play for whatever reason.
Yeah, because in all honesty, I'm just so confused. I'm just so perplexed because you're on a winning organization right now. Like you helped the team win a Super Bowl.
He was there with Pittsburgh. He was in the winning organization with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but he at least he won. He won, and they're now what 12-4. I think the record is 12-4 right now.
Yeah, I think so.
You're 12-4, and you want to quit while you're on the run and on a huge
and he quitting when he had multiple money-based incentives.
Yeah,
when he already has a bunch of people that he's either getting sued for, or people that are money for people that he hasn't paid for services.
Yeah, so you're on the verge to get more money, and bro, let me tell you, to constantly jeopardize your future and throw money away like that.
That's someone who's not well. That's someone who's not well. Someone who's willing to jeopardize his future. Remember, he has kids too. He has kids.
Oh, that's right.
So it's like he's willing to jeopardize his future just for what? For what? Because he had a disagreement with his head coach. It happens, but like he has a history of that. That's his history.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're just going to bring him back, you're just enabling the behavior to continue. Why would he? Why would he stop if you don't punish him?
Well, I mean, now that the playoff is going to start, punishing now, I just don't see it happening. I don't. I mean, you're in the playoffs now. Like if this was in the middle of the season and let's say you were only 10 games in, or 9 games in, and you want to suspend him for a couple of games, that's fine. But I don't think it's a good idea to suspend him now. It's you either win or you go home.
All right, that's fine, but like you're enabling behavior if you put it like that. And if he can pull this bullshit in the Super Bowl, what are you gonna say? Oh, I need him for next year? No. Like if you can't trust him, but you have to get rid of him. If you can't trust this guy to be there every single day, you have to get rid of him. And they had their chance to get rid of him, and they didn't. And they got burned. And they got burned because of it.
Mm.
So I can't. I don't feel. I don't feel bad for. I mean, if there's anyone who I feel bad for, I do feel bad for Tom Brady.
Wait, hold on. The guy who suggested to bring in
Yeah,
Antonio
because
Brown, you should start for him.
he put his faith in him, and Antonio Brown screwed him over. Pretty much, you put your faith in the guy, and then it happens. You see it happen. Like you have guys who you suggest they should hey, can you help me get this job or get this job or whatever, and then they come in and they perform poorly. That's a bad reflection on you.
Yeah.
That's a bad reflection on you. So like, I get it. I understand. I can relate to it. And to me, like you're just trying to help somebody out, and they fuck you over at the end. I mean, I would feel bad for him. But like at the end of the day, like as far as Bruce Arians had his chance to discipline this dude, and he didn't do it. So like I said, like I don't feel bad for him. The only person I do feel bad for is Brady. Yeah, he put his neck out there for him because he considered him a friend, and his friend screwed him over at the end of the day. But that's the calling call of someone who has mental health issues, and someone who frankly is probably like a piece of shit also.
Oh my gosh. Well, I honestly thought that when he said in the post conference that he was no longer a buck. I don't know if you saw it, but when he
Yeah, I
basically
saw it. Sorry.
yeah when he said that, I thought immediately already he basically chastised him by just getting rid of him altogether by cutting. I thought he was cut immediately when he said that.
Yeah,
I
but
thought
like I
I
said,
thought
I think when it comes to that, I think they're waiting for legal to do their job to see if what they can do to get out of Antonio Brown's contract.
yeah. Yeah, I think you're right because I was already on the assumption that he was cut immediately, but
Yeah.
because of what you said, then yeah, I guess they're gonna have to put that on hold, for now.
Hmm.
So, but listen, there's only one more game left. Like it's either you just keep him now, and then you get rid of him, after whether you win a Super Bowl or not, or get rid of him now. Like there's no point of holding on to somebody where it's just going to cause distractions if you're on the fence if you're going to keep him or not, or if you're just not going to put him in the rotation. So, but yeah, I don't really have much to say. Like once again, he's no longer going to be in a Hall of Fame. I do think somebody else is going to sign him if he gets cut, and I don't think the Bucks is going to win a Super Bowl. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm
Yeah.
upset that the Jets lost. So yeah,
No, it was a good showing though. Like you can say that. Like it was a good showing. You almost beat the champions. I mean, you did a better job than
what
we
what
did.
what what pissed me off was that why would you do a quarterback sneak when you have 2 yards to go to? You have 2 yards,
Yeah.
and you want to do a quarterback sneak.
I mean, after Tua completed a big play to Jalen Waddle, they tried to trick. They tried to run a trick play, and it didn't work, obviously. So
That was just so
it is what it is.
pathetic. Yeah.
It is what it is. But anyways, that's it for the podcast. So it was a good show as usual. Like I said, Thursday is our controller tier list that we're gonna be doing. So okay. So before I go, all right. So we're gonna do every controller that either we've ever used, right?
Yes.
Every controller that we ever used. So like I said, I'll have I have my opinion. You have your opinions. So it's gonna be a fun show. We're gonna do it on Thursday. Hopefully there's nothing else that goes on on my end. I think I should be open for Thursday. But the preliminary time is 7 o'clock.
Yes.
All right. So, but on that note, good podcast. Who we winning six? I'm out.
Yeah. So if if Nintendo Gamer and Malta, you guys want to join in, absolutely, you're more than welcome. Having, I think you said you're gonna take care of that with the
Mm-hmm.
link and everything, so that'll be good. It'll be the four of us all over again. Um, and also I wanted to mention that yeah, the podcast is going to continue on Tuesday. Just to let you all know until I'm able to make adjustments with the side hustle. So I'm gonna have to make adjustments with the logo regarding to that also. I'm just gonna keep it as is because this is just temporary. It's just temporary. But yeah, this was a very good podcast. It was heated. There was a lot of, a lot of nice, disputes going on, a lot of quarreling, a lot of arguing. It was good. But at the end of the day, as long as we got through it, I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward for this Thursday. So stay tuned for this Thursday.
All right. All right. We're out.
Yep. So this is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. You
All right.
all have a good one.
All right. Who we winning six? I'm out. Bye.